Everybody move, there's blood on the floor. And I can't find my heart. Where did it go? Did I leave it in the cold? So please give it back, cause it's not yours to take. It must have fell when I lost my mind.
Alrighty guys, what is going on? Welcome to the Chec box. That was my guy Thundercat, man, with them changes. What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
That was a fun.
We good?
I'm good.
Track, bro.
Hey, word. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to
Are they a
our
group? They might be a group.
They are a group? Is it a group?
Thundercat is a solo.
The solo guy. Okay,
Solo guy.
I
Look at
fucked
that.
up. I'm a dumbass.
Type shit. What's going on, guys? Episode 15. We have a special guest today. He goes by the name of StuDy's, man. Give it up for Stud.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
My guy, man. Appreciate you, bro, for coming on this episode. This is amazing. Feel me? Been trying to have you for a minute. I'm glad it took this time, and
I'm actually really happy that it happened now. Because right now,
yes.
I mean, if it would have came earlier, I feel like it would have been wasted on just like an underdeveloped kind of project.
Now a bunch of jamokes.
A little more established, and you feel me, on a better level than
well,
what
it's
we
good
were.
in here. It's a nice scenery in here, man. Y'all got this nice and well put together. So I like the movement.
Took a while,
Everything
man.
happens for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. But what's going on, guys? Like I said, episode 15 here. And for those who don't know, my guy Stud is was a professional Call of Duty player. He is now an analyst for the game. He actually just came back from London. But before we get into that, quick shout out to the beer company today. This is a brewing company from Westchester. Alec, if you want to just give everyone some more info on that.
Shout outs to Aaron and the Cap Law crew. So, as you guys know, I'm a student at New York Medical College. I'm by the way, just finished turning in my last project before my fucking degree.
That.
You know that feeling? Like,
I do. You gotta let that out. I hear that.
But being a New York Medical College student, I mean, we are practically regulars at Captain Lawrence Brewery, and it's a great time. They always treat us so well over there, and their beers are dope as fuck. So today, I have for you Powder Dreams. It's a triple IPA citrus.
Nice.
Citrus.
I haven't tried it yet, so this is
Can
exactly
you pass
why I
one?
had it.
Yeah. You like pass one?
Pass me one too, man. I'm down.
Show them the can though. The can is fire.
The can is fire. Go into the camera a little more. Go into the camera a little more. You good? It's focusing.
There you go.
Yeah, you're good.
There you
You're
go.
I
good.
feel like when you park, I'm like a little more.
A little more. Perp, you gonna have one, man, or what are you gonna
I don't know. I'll take a sip of yours, man. A whole can. I don't really be drinking like that.
DK.
Cheers.
Word, cheers, gentlemen. Let's crack this.
Stomach.
Alrighty. So let me know how it tastes.
Word, let's take
Like
this.
the camera.
Powder Dreams. This shit is nice and cold too. Cheers,
Cheers to the
gentlemen.
check box, yo.
Cheers.
Hey,
Cheers.
word,
Cheers.
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 Before we even get the show started.
Unopened. Man, look at you.
You didn't even open yours.
Oh my
I
god.
raised it though.
It's an IPA.
Yep,
It's
what we drink
a
over
triple
here.
IPA.
He's not an IPA
You're
guy.
not an IPA guy?
Nah, it's alright. I could drink it, bro. But like, you know, I'm usually a Bud Light, the one that tastes like water.
That's true. Yeah, I'm very much.
You like Natty Lights?
That's not what we do.
That's real water.
That's
Like gringo shit,
Sucia
man.
Natty
agua.
Ice.
Agua
Natty Ice.
sucia.
Nah, that is
So this is a triple dry hopped IPA, and with Mosaic, Citra, and Amarillo powder, Imperial Napa. So yeah.
That's
Fancy
how you
words
get a
there.
chance.
At least it don't taste like wood chips, bro. You ever had an IPA that tastes like a wood chip?
a wood chip.
I've
Nah,
never-
I'm not even sure how to.
I've never tasted a wood chip.
Bro, you like
By that, wait.
I like it really bitter.
Wait.
I like it really
Okay, yeah, I was
bitter,
gonna say.
cold IPA.
IPAs can get pretty bitter, so I
Yeah.
think we should.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty new to this IPA shit.
Yeah,
I'm like 2 years in
I'm
because of
lost.
this guy.
Yeah.
I was more of a Heineken, Stella Artois. I still am. Like that's my go-to beer, Stella
basic.
Artois. You
It
feel
do
me?
say.
Right? You mean
I'm basic. Fuck it. It is
basic.
what it is. You feel me? Nah. But this guy definitely like got me onto IPAs. Just sipping brews in school, bro. It was nuts. Pretty much every Thursday, this guy's pulling up a fucking.
You ever had a Bucanero?
Bucanero.
It's from Cuba.
Word?
Oh, I
Yeah,
got
when I
it.
went to Cuba over the summer with my family, there was like the signature beer out there, bro, and it was like the greatest beer I've ever had.
Word?
Yeah, I even bought the
Nice.
shirt for it, bro. Like it was so
Fire.
legendary.
What it
Shit.
tastes like?
I gotta try that.
I don't even know, bro. It was a little better than it was like a Heineken. No, it was like a Bud Light and a Corona mix with like a. It was
But it had,
just
like, a
mad
deeper
smooth.
flavor type shit?
It was mad smooth to go down, and it was also strong as shit. Like, it was stronger than a regular beer.
Okay.
But it was just mad smooth. So we just chugging them shits when we was on the
Yeah,
travel
yeah.
bus just going around the city, and it was, like, amazing. So,
I like strong beers. I don't have to pay a lot to get fucked up. type
Yeah.
shit. You know, because like with Corona,
Like that
you
Flying Dog shit.
6.
Flying Dog shit was crazy.
Flying Dog
That was
was
another
shit.
IPA.
12%. That was
Dog
no
IPA.
joke.
Remember
Yeah,
my
that
mother
shit
told me, like, hey, I recommend this beer, son. Put it on your podcast. I'm like, yeah, sure, ma. Just give me a lick of the drink. Fuck it. But, yeah, man. So, Stud, how about you tell everybody, you know, who you are, pretty much. Feel me, what you do, and
Okay.
yeah, give us a little intro.
Uh,
I'm Jeremy, study Astacio, former Call of Duty Pro player, and now I'm a Call of Duty analyst for the CWL Pro League. I mean, for just the CWL in general. But overall, man, just being a professional gamer, people always just try to joke on it like it's some joke. Like you see nowadays, you got Ninja on like the Ellen show and
Yeah,
stuff
that
like
that was official.
So like when he's like the face of all gamers, just for the simple fact that he's the most exposed. But just overall, being a professional gamer nowadays is definitely like a career. Like before, back in the day when I first started, it wasn't really nothing. You know, I was just playing just to have fun. And you know, those people that like play just to have much fun as me, and were as competitive as me as well. So when I surrounded myself with that, we just realized we could play for like a little bit of money, you know, like $2,000, $3,000, and stuff like that. But just eventually it just kept climbing, bro. And then,
That's crazy.
Because that was enough
And,
for you guys, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Just play for
because-
free.
yeah, bro, I was skipping school.
Yeah.
You know, just
To
going
get any
out.
money for that is like,
I
yeah,
was
I'm in.
just
At that
Yeah.
age too. When did you start?
Well, so I started, and basically, I got addicted to Call of Duty when I was in like
Junior high.
sixth grade.
Yeah. Hell
Sixth
yeah.
grade, bro.
Yep,
What
I'm
Call
there
of
with
Duty-
you.
What Call of Duty was that one?
It was
Which
Call of Duty 4, bro. I used to remember
the
I went to
best
school.
card.
Oh my God.
IS 131 right there on the Bruckner, and then I lived on Lafayette, which is like right up the block, right in front of PS 100. And then my house used to have like this little AC unit, and me and my brothers, we never had keys. Like I was like 12, he's like 10.
Yeah.
But like we used to go to the same school, so my mom used to drop us off right in front, and then she used to just drive off. So then sometimes I used to just turn back around, walk to the crib. I used to push the AC inside.
And you used to climb
Yeah,
through
I
the
used to
AC
climb
hole.
through the AC hole, bro. Like the AC, we didn't have
Just
no
to
keys,
play
bro.
games.
And like, keep in mind, like we was on the second floor, so in order to
heard
get
of
up there,
I've never.
in order to get up there, it was a balcony. Like we had to get up on the balcony on the right side.
That's
The neighbors that we had like a
crazy.
tall fence. So fortunately, we jumped up there. And we hopped in, and we hopped in, and we hopped in, and we put that. My mom, she used to get mad at. She used to take my cable and stuff like that. But overall, I was just addicted to Call of Duty, bro. So like, I knew right then and there, like, I was watching like when I was like 12, 13, just watching all these people like play, but it was playing for like $2-3 grand. But it was like something that I definitely wanted to look into because I knew it was like, I didn't know what it was gonna be when I got older, but just overall, it was definitely like a hobby that I had.
That's amazing, man. And it's
That is
actually
amazing, yeah.
it's actually ironic because the first time I ever played Call of Duty 4 was in this guy's crib.
It was, yeah.
He actually introduced me to the Xbox 360 because I was always a PlayStation kind of guy. I'm
Yeah.
not sure
And the
if y'all can
online,
relate.
XBL, Xbox Live, yeah.
pretty much in the long run.
That was the best times.
Yeah,
I feel
always
like that
been
was
a
peak.
golden age.
That was the peak time of
parties,
multiplayer.
like
Yep.
the Xbox parties. You know, you didn't really
Yes.
you didn't need a computer.
That was even before parties. Like,
Yeah, you
parties
didn't-
was like 2008,
Yeah,
2009.
you had the game chat. Everybody was in
Yeah,
the game chat
game chat.
talking. You know,
Talking
you didn't
shit.
have
Talking.
you didn't have
They
Skype.
still
You
shit
didn't have none
talk.
of that.
They still-
Yeah.
they still
But it's
shit
like
talk.
it's a
not-
lot
it's
less
not how it used to
rare
be
now.
type
At
shit.
all.
Nah.
No
Yeah,
way.
not even close.
It's a lot less rare, bro. It's because like everybody's got like all these talking programs like Skype, and they're all connected to the computers, so like they talk through that.
Now
Nobody's
they
using
moderate chats now. It's like the setup is so different.
Yeah.
Right. It was a little more free for all back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
type shit.
Always been a
Overall.
PlayStation nigga.
It was like the wild west, honestly.
Yeah, it was like
Nah.
fun as shit that back in the day. Like,
OD,
when I used
real
to skip
talk.
it,
It
to go
was,
home and just talk mad shit and
Bro.
Call of Duty
Hella
4.
shit.
Yo, bro.
And just staying up, man.
I remember, man. It was the one summer my mother like forced me to take off of baseball. It wasn't really my mom's. It was like a conjoined thing. You feel me? Like I was playing a lot of ball, bro. So whatever, boom. And I was just playing straight COD. And actually, that was Modern Warfare 2 days. Bro. that was Modern Warfare
Modern
2
Warfare 2.
days.
W2.
I'm surprised you guys. I'm surprised Modern Warfare 2 isn't like the best one for you.
It is. It is.
Oh,
but
it's
fine.
100%.
For me, it
Modern
got
Warfare
COD
for
4
me,
got to
it
be
is
my
for
favorite.
Bro, that shit was crack. I will never
Number
forget.
two,
I remember the
definitely.
day, bro. I remember the day I got Modern Warfare 2, like yesterday. I love you, Henri, my sister. Bro, she literally, her man, who they, you know what I'm saying, they're still together now. They about to get married. Fucking, yo, he was, so, my brother-in-law, he's addicted to Call of Duty,
Okay.
just like that, and he's elite. He's nice. So when Modern Warfare 2 came out, he was like trying to be cool with me. Like he bought it, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't 18, so I couldn't get it. Bro, she surprised me after school. I came out of school and they were together. I was like, "What the fuck are y'all doing here?" And she was like, "Boom, bro." When I tell you I sprinted home, bro, I ran home,
Little fuck boy.
addicted, bro. You know, every night up till 5, son.
Yeah,
on the thing, on the live, bro.
Yeah, on
Actually,
the
Modern Warfare 2 is the only one
Nah,
where I literally got to 10th prestige, level 70, like legitimately, like all the way through, nigga. Like I literally did that
Nah,
shit.
we did
You know what I'm
lobby,
saying?
boy.
I know. Listen, yo, I was just saying.
had the hack lobby.
Nah, yo. You know, there's people out there that I know. There's niggas out there that prestige in everything, like in every single
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But like, nigga, Modern Warfare 2, bro. I was that addicted,
Yes.
son. I prestige all the way. Actually, when I got to 10 prestige level 70, actually, that's when I hacked it. I hacked it after that, nigga. But you needed to hack it, son.
It's so ironic that this conversation of hacking comes up because I was just telling Mars today and a couple of clients of ours that I deadass got scammed for a lobby back then, bro.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was in it.
fuck you.
I like those people,
Yo,
bro.
explain that. What is that? What is
Yo,
that?
I remember
Yo.
back in the day.
I want to hear it from his end because
You
he's
used
the
to
one
be
scammed.
like, you used to be like, you used to go into a lobby, you used to be level 70, you know what I'm saying?
The
Any
top
prestige-
level.
Any prestige you want. And at that point, people were like, yo, how you get that? You get that? I said, I got a lobby, bro. You know, it's 1,600 Microsoft points. man.
$20.
$20.
$1,600
Like,
Microsoft
I'll
points.
be
Yeah,
like,
each
alright, bet.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so send me the code and I'm going to get you in the lobby, whatever.
Yeah.
Send me the code.
Black.
I'm like, all right, bet.
Kid.
Bro, that was
I'm like, all right,
literally all the
1,600,
time.
bet. All right, I'm going to get you in this lobby. We're going to be searching for a public lobby. I back out. And then,
Yeah.
You've been removed from
Yeah.
the
And that
the
was
worst
it. You could
is
do
you've
nothing.
been removed from the party.
Yeah,
That's
like, the player has left the party. Like,
Yeah, it was over
that
after that.
literally happened to me.
Yeah.
I was there for that too.
That whole
I was in
scenario.
that same lobby.
I
with
was so heartbroken.
Yo, bro, that's
Because, let me explain something, bro. I'm 12 years old, 12, 13. I'm excited as hell. I'm like, yo, I'm about to be 10 prestige, level
Yeah.
70. Dad, can I get 20, please?
Yeah.
I sprinted to Walgreens around the block.
Walgreens, yup.
Never ran so goddamn fast in my life. Sweating, typing the code into the message just to get kicked from the party, bro.
Crazy.
And my $20 taken from me, bro. I was,
Rob, just
th-
like that.
that
bro.
was such like a pivotal heartbreak in my life, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. But like, that's a memory I'm always gonna have.
Traumatized, bro.
Bro, that's mad.
Yo,
funny.
I was
extremely traumatized.
That shit happened to a lot of
That's
niggas I know, bro. Like consistently.
That builds
It was crazy.
character.
It's trash, man.
It does.
Bro, that is mad funny though.
It does though. But stuff, man. So you recently just came back from a trip from London. Tell us about that, man. How was it?
I was at CWL London. You know, it was a tournament for 250 grand. You know, now that I'm
Like,
No big deal.
no big deal, right? You know, but like we travel around the world and we do all these sort of events basically everywhere. But this time it was London. You know, honestly, like I've never been to London before. You know, I've been to Birmingham, I've been to Paris twice, but like London, I've never been a part of that. And just being over there and a part of that event was like, it was just mad fun to be honest, because like the drinking limit over there is 18.
Yeah.
So,
Heard about that.
Yeah.
so at the venue, they're selling beers, and like that's something that they don't do in America. Is just selling beers. So like all the fans over there were just going absolutely nuts. They were just making
That's
all these
awesome.
crazy
Yeah.
chants.
Yeah.
Like imagine,
Yeah.
you know, like when you watch a soccer, they like all the teams
Yeah,
got
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
chants.
Crazy.
So
It's
the
the same
Europeans
shit.
got chants over there, bro. So like the more drunk they get, they just getting louder and
Louder,
louder.
yeah.
It's just like, it was like the most epic, like just fan crowd perspective, and just
can zoom out
overall,
a
it's
little
just
bit?
like they had
Like,
like
my
the
head
certain
is wild,
chants
cut off.
that were just like amazing. Like Maven is like
That's what
one
I'm
of
saying, nigga.
our,
This is, like,
one of
right
our
in my
casters,
mouth
like broadcaster
already.
of the year. He won that like esports caster of the year, and then. So like whenever he was commentating, because like the casters are sitting there right next to the fans and all the crowd. So like whenever he was commentating, they would like shut up, Maven, and like just imagine that like 300-400 people just chanting that, like
They
just
fucking
shut up,
with your
Maven.
mojo, like,
Exactly,
literally
like
fucking-
exactly,
literally
like
fucking with your-
exactly,
literally
like
fucking
a
with
team
your
called Optic Gaming. Like whenever Optic plays, they have like the biggest fan base, no
Heard of
matter
him.
where you go.
Heard of him.
So whenever they were playing, it's just like whoever's playing against them, they were just getting absolutely like proud. Like they didn't stand a chance. So they were playing a team called 100 Thieves, who ended up winning the tournament. This is who the people right here.
Oh, wow.
I played.
I didn't realize.
I played against like the owner of the organization. His name was Nayshot. I've been playing against him for years, and then eventually he stepped down. Just big as shit. He's always been like the COD father. Like, you know, he brought his championship. It was his first championship under his organization, and of course it was Call of Duty, where he was born and raised. And it was just dope to see like his team beating Optic Gaming, a team that he used to play for. You know what I'm saying? That was like how he made his career. Nayshot was Optic Nayshot. That's who he was the entire time. And now he's 100 Thieves Nayshot. You know, he's partnered with Drake. That's like the coolest shit
That
ever.
is
Like, you fit
fire,
in with
That's
Drake.
bro.
It's crazy the growth that you
Yeah.
achieved with this fucking
yeah,
industry, man.
yeah.
So,
like
like,
this is.
I went on
insane.
Instagram and Drake just tags all of them and like stuff like that. You got Drake tweeting
So that
That's
is
nuts,
insane,
bro. Like,
bro.
imagine that.
I was looking at the sweater. I'm like, yo, this is a pretty good quality sweater.
Yeah,
like this shit,
bro. This is like the official tissue.
it
bro.
feel like some OVO or Supreme quality kind of
Bro,
thing. Like,
I was gonna say because it looked like a actual like brand and shit. So I was just looking at it. I was like, all right,
it is
that's
an
right.
actual brand, bro. I promise you. They
wow.
they do apparel. I'm pretty sure every month or some shit.
Oh,
like
so
that.
then they are actual.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
they're
shit.
an organization that has some dope ass apparel.
Oh wow,
bro.
oh
So,
shit,
like,
all right.
that
No,
shit's
that's
just
fire.
cool, man.
Yeah,
So
man. I
it's
mean,
awesome, man.
yo, for those who don't know, like these professional teams, like they're really out here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'll switch it over to another game real quick. Gears of War. It's a very known game. It's just as big as COD. Well, not as big as COD. Not
as big as
for me.
COD.
Nowhere near as big as COD. World League. There ain't no Gears World League, but
But
definitely
it's
like.
fucking good.
But Gears is good. Anyway, what I'm getting at is there's skins. There's skins in the game that you can buy, and it's like skins of Optic Gaming. There's a bunch of FaZe clans and shit like that, which is which is your clan or your team and shit. Bro, I remember seeing that. I'm like, yo, I didn't know somebody a part of this fucking team. Like,
As well.
it's just
You know
it's
what's crazy?
nuts.
Like the Optic Gears team, bro, is like the best. Like
I bet.
like fucking just overall team ever like assembled. Like,
Word? Oh shit.
You
'cause,
met
like,
them?
bro? I know all of them. They won 12 out of the last 13 tournaments.
Sheesh.
And bro, just imagine it. They playing for like 250K every time. You won 12 out of the last 13, and the one that they lost, they got second.
Wait, 12 out of the last 13,
who the-
250K every time.
They go to Mexico. They go all over the world.
definitely
Who the
made,
fuck they
over
lose
$2
to?
million.
That's basically
And
$3
they lost to Envy back in the day, but like they
Envy
picked up.
off.
So like they picked up a player from Envy, so now he's playing for Optic. So like
It's
they just
over.
got,
So
like,
now
the
it's super
powers.
over. It's like
It's like those guys over there. I just feel like they live in the lavish life, you know. Winning the last 12 out of 13, that means you don't really have no competition. Like that's the ultimate dynasty. It's like way better than the Warriors, way better than the 96
I was about to say
Bulls
that.
and stuff like that.
I was literally gonna say that they're like the Warriors
That's
squared.
insane, bro. Like imagine going to a tournament just like, all right, we're gonna win this one. It's like,
Yo, that shit must be
wild.
such a good
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Showered
get
in
there
fucking
so
bills,
bad,
bro.
but it
It's
was
crazy.
just so tough, man.
it's hard.
It's so.
Takes a lot of
That's like
dedication.
3 million some
What
change.
what exactly does it take though? Like I want to know. Like so
What it takes
I mean
to be a pro gamer.
okay, so like you can be because I know a lot of people that are just really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Josh is very good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bye.
no, you're pretty good, bro. Like
Compare- you know what I'm saying?
compared
In
to me, you know, I'm
Yeah.
ass. But you know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
or
I
just in
play-
a
I
general
play
in a
for
general
fun.
room, you know what I'm saying? You're better than the average player. I was compare
Right,
with that.
right,
Type
right.
shit.
So don't get gas.
Yeah,
But-
'cause I'll still
Nah,
smoke.
yeah,
I'll
I know,
smoke
it's
him.
true,
I
though.
can't.
Yeah,
You feel me with this dude?
This nigga will humble anybody real quick.
That's
Oh
what I'm
word.
saying.
You
Oh,
can't
word?
give him a compliment.
With these
you know,
two?
and you know I barely give you compliments, but I have to give you credit. where
My
it's
son Germ too.
Behave.
but that's not enough. I feel like that's not enough for you to get big into this industry. I mean, like what did you have to do?
What was your path?
What was
Your
path?
breaking
Okay.
into this industry? Tell us that story. 'Cause I'm
So-
really curious. I'm sure.
All right, so when I first started, it was just basically practicing by myself, you know, just playing against kids and just realizing that they didn't have a chance.
it's a fucking fruit fly,
Right,
like,
and
yeah.
then
Fuck.
so then it was a website called Game Battles back in the day. It's like
GB.
when
Shout out
we started.
GB.
Yeah, it was all about the GB. So then like when you had a team, you always wanted to go flawless. Like that was one thing. 'Cause it's just like so when I played, you know, we went like first time I ever started, it was just like we went like 20 and 22, like whatever. Like you know, just developing at that point, just playing people like us that want to play and just get better. Then eventually the records keep going. You disband, you make a new one. You start 5-0. You just keep on disbanding and make new ones. And eventually you just try to perfect that perfect record. And once you do that, it's just like repetition of like, just like situations, especially in Call of Duty. It's all about situational plays, like what position you're gonna find yourself in, and how is like the best way for you to get out of it. So if you put yourself in like S&D, for instance, if you like a 2v1 situation, like, and you got the bomb, if you planted at this bomb, it puts you at an angle to where one person got to peek you or do some extra stuff to try to challenge you. Just always play the game in your favor because of the situation. You played it so many times in the back of your head, so you already know what's about to play back in your mind. So
Yeah.
just being a professional game, it's just about the repetition, to be honest. Like just practicing your craft
getting consistent, right?
and just, becoming consistent. Because like if you can't be a professional if you're not consistent. It's
And
just not
that
as
also
simple.
makes me something you bring up is just almost like premeditating almost what you're doing. That relates to almost any pro. Like you just made me think of Kobe, like basketball player. He said that he had a game winner. He says that he's like before the shot even happened, before the tip off.
You see
He's
yourself
like
making it.
I literally saw. I played that exact play in my head, and then when it happened, I did it.
Right.
Pro fucking gaming is new, but look, same approach. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be next level, man. You gotta study. You gotta study. You gotta study.
I mean,
You gotta really study your craft.
Where does study come from?
Study was originated back when it was me and my cousin. Like he was the one who brought me into the gaming thing. because he started originally. And then I got an Xbox. But then we was playing, and then like when we was playing GBs, we saw people that have matching gamer tags, and we was just like, all right, if we look cool, like if we go into a lobby, like looking official, like matching gamer tags. So then my cousin's name, he decided to make his name Lucky with 2 Y's, and I was just like, okay, so that's fine. So I had to make my name with 2 Y's, and I was just thinking. And at that time, I was getting good grades in school. You know, I was cutting them. But so I decided to study it. And
Study because I'm getting the good grades and not studying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying that card.
Exactly. It's like I did it just enough just to make sure I got through. Especially like even in high school, like freshman, sophomore year, I was going dumb hard like in school, just like A's and B's. And then sophomore year when I started traveling, it's when I started slacking off. 65 here and there. Especially in science class. I remember I had Miss Edlovich. Wow, she was terrible. But,
what a name.
Yeah, just overall, yeah.
With that rhyme.
You were one of the last years of Kennedy High School.
Yeah,
like the real Kennedy High School.
Yeah, I know. People don't really originate. You got all this Marble Hill and all that other.
You went to
Hey,
JFK?
relax, man. I went to
You went to the metal detectors?
Yeah.
You was going to the metal detectors every day?
Every single day, bro. Especially when I was playing football. Well, when I was fucking practicing for the football team, and you had to be there like 5 in the morning. You had to be there just dumb early going to this shit.
Dude, it was crazy because every time we played JFK, every time we played JFK, bro, going through and just in uniform, like, yo, you pretty much have to strip again to go through that shit, take your belt off, everything. I was like, yo, this is wild.
Stupid.
Fucking JFK.
Just to fucking get into class.
Yeah,
I mean, you had to go through class. Like, we was playing balls. I was just going there to play, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all went through that every day. Like,
it was pretty whack. It was pretty whack. So, yo, Stud.
Yeah, no, I was about to get into something that we were actually touching on before. Actually, the kind of mental calculations, mental intuition when you're in the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? It was really funny because I had a friend that we would always play like Mortal Kombat with, and he always used to tell me like he was so good. He was really fucking good at this shit. But he told me that there was like a formula. Like there was like a mathematical formula that he always used to get good at this shit. He started to explain it to me. He said because there's a frames per second sort of situation with character attacks and stuff like that. Yeah. And just so that you guys understand, because I was not aware of this, I was just having fun, just playing this shit, dying and
there's
kicking ass, whatever it may be. There is a whole other universe of how these motherfuckers understand this game.
Yeah, it's a language.
At the end of the day, it's like they understand the science of this game. They understand the math that is involved. Because
it's
at
the
end
mechanics
of
the game.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, it's ones and zeros at the end, right?
Yeah, bro.
And it's going to get really interesting a little bit later on. We're going to talk about simulation theory and all that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, ones and zeros are what make up the virtual reality world of the games that you're playing. So if you understand that math that they use between characters and character types and stuff like that and moves and just taking it a little bit away from shooting games but more combat games, I'm curious how gamers, like professional gamers, view games versus more... casual players like me, right? So I mean, I don't see it in that way.
And also, you as an analyst,
it's just like a fucking game. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna break it down like that, it's just like, so you remember back in the day, it's all about like learning the mechanics all the way down to the T. Like especially for like the new Call of Duties, like there was advanced warfare where it all started with the jetpacks. Right. So like people who learned how to use a jetpack like the fastest, like there was moves that you could drop shot in the middle of the air. It was called a belly flop. That's what we called it in like the professional days. But like people could not be able to do that because you used to be able to double boost and it would just double boost you up in the air. And that's what you think your normal movement is, but like you could double boost dash, you could lay flat midair and like do all this extra shit. And like the people who were able to like find that out the fastest is like the people that like just are really good at the game. Because like you remember back in the days, like even Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, like drop shotting was a thing. Whenever like people could not drop shot, I used to be able to out drop shot everyone. But just because I had the mechanic already in the back of my head, and like I know you didn't stand a chance if I did it because I know you don't know it. But it's just learning like those little things about the game that definitely give you the advantage over your opponent that you definitely want to use.
I was gonna say like especially with fighting games, like I know your friend said it's like a formula. Like there's like this concept called like frame data, and some characters have better frame data than others, and that's what it comes down to.
And I feel like isn't at the bottom of the screen with Mortal Kombat? Isn't there like a little thing going that like gives you like it's feeding back information to you?
That's
at the bottom corner of the screen.
That's like a practice mode.
That's the practice.
Oh, is it? All right, I was about to say
but it's like kind of like a how ball players they don't understand like they understand the mechanics of their shot because they do it all the time, but they don't know the numbers. They don't know anything. It's the same exact thing. It's just the feeling. Like I know this character character moves in space differently than this other character.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they use it to their advantage.
Right,
Yeah.
but the thing is, it's really funny with that. You don't need to know the numbers. So,
You
for
don't.
example,
No, you
good
don't.
players,
You don't.
again, it's all about human intuition, right? So,
getting a
intuition at the
feeling
end
for
of the
it.
day is your mental computer really calculating all those,
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously, all of those actions. So, the rate at which you do something on, when you actually click the button, your mind calculates that in your head without you knowing it. And so therefore, those people that can catch on and actually catch on the patterns, catch the patterns within the game and intuitively actually get that and, exert that on what they want to actually do in the game, they actually are way better at that. So I'm actually really curious fundamentally what makes good gamers, because some people actually know the science, like my boy, and some people
Just
really
do it
don't
and
and are
just-
just
They
really
just
fucking
feel it
good.
out. They're really good at feeling it out.
It's overall, it's just like it depends on like what you learn as you like who you are. Even like for basketball players, like LeBron James is 6'9", 260.
Word.
And he knows his power moves. Like can't nobody guard him on a 1-on-1 because he's too fast.
Right.
So he uses that to an advantage. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo, if he hits the paint, no
So-
one knows
so
how to guard him. It's just like he
Kill that
uses his
motherfucking fly.
whatever whatever
I'm
the
sorry,
power
I'm sorry.
things, like whatever his power advantages are, like he knows his strengths. As long as you're playing to your strengths and like making people play around you, like you're gonna be good at whatever you do.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but also, yeah, that's pretty much
I want to actually go back to what you said, bro. It's just about knowing the little things, such as the belly flop, the drop shot, and shit. And I remember the first time I went to your crib, I saw your setup and everything. This is when you were sponsored by Scuff Gaming.
Yeah, I'm still sponsored by Scuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
even better. Bro, it gets so technical to the point where there's remote controllers created to keep your hands from moving as minimal as possible. So, for example, there's a controller that
Ergonomic.
instead of like moving your thumb to crouch, you might just tap your ring finger back here.
It just makes it a lot easier to just.
Yeah, nah.
And how did that actually
Yeah,
help
please
you
explain
with
that.
All right,
your
so
gaming?
so when I started, it was just like when I first got my hands on the Scuff, it was like amazing because remember when you start playing, you're just like you're taking your thumb off and it's like low-key messing up your shot.
Really quick. Did you play on tactical?
Yeah, I play tactical flip
Okay.
before, but
Flip.
yeah,
Wow.
that's now because like I play on PlayStation, so it's like easier.
Okay.
But overall, I used to just play on tactical, so you drop shot it with your stick,
Yeah,
so
with
you
the
just click it
tactical
all the
fire.
I
time.
remember that.
But then like once that happened, once I learned like that's when drop shot was good, and then eventually it became about like a punch. Like now it's a shot punch. Like instead of used to be a knife, so you used to be able to one kill somebody.
That they took the knife.
But
out.
now it's a shot punch.
I hate that shit. I hate
It's
that
like
shit.
it's a privilege now.
Yeah,
I
so
thought
if you
it was
punch
like a
somebody,
fucking
if they
regular-
make them one shot, and then you have to punch them
And then you
again.
gotta-
But that's
yeah.
the whole point of a one shot, one punch. So like, the whole point of a paddle is like Scuff Gaming is like when they announced that controller, it just made everybody's life so much easier. Besides the people that play claw, like when you play claw, you hold your finger above the buttons, you're just able to click with your index finger.
Ew.
But just
Nasty.
just watch, like just being able to
Josh
like,
plays like that.
hit my paddles because the paddles you get the left paddle which is A on Xbox and X on PS4, and then circle on the other one. A is like when you could jump, so when when you shoot, you jump. I jump mid gunfight, you don't have a chance. I still got my full aim on you, and even like since now it's a shot punch. When I'm shooting at you and you're running gun on me, like I shoot you one bullet, I just hit the battle real quick and punch you real quick. So it makes it a lot easier. And Scuff Gaming, deadass, like they changed the gaming.
Shout out Scuff
Yeah.
That's insane.
revolutionized.
I remember,
the
man.
ease of
That's
execution.
That's
awesome.
SCUF, by the way, for those who are interested in that. And you're still sponsored by that?
Of course, I've been sponsored by that.
Yo,
My
shout out to
entire
them.
life.
Yeah, shout out.
Make sure you use code STUDY for 5% off.
Oh, that ass.
Shit, look at that.
Yeah, seriously.
Study
That's
two wise.
Yeah, study with two
5%.
eyes.
Fighting games
We'll
are the
put it-
same
we'll
way
put it-
too with that
Yeah,
controller
everything.
thing. Like
It doesn't matter what you're playing. Like even people that play console Fortnite, like if you're transitioning from like PC, because all the competitive players play on PC,
PC,
but you can hook up a controller to it. And like people like Nick Merckx, like Ghost Aiden, like these are players that are like console players that are keeping up with like PC players. And like, the fact that you're able to do that, like 'cause remember you have a mouse and a keyboard, so your reaction is a lot faster on PC.
wait, yo,
But like having a
so
Scuff Gaming
quick.
controller, because I know those players they definitely use them. It's just a lot easier, with your building, because you can not only get 2 paddles, you can also get 4 paddles. So you could just you can map them all different type of ways. So even if you don't like a certain button in a certain position, you can change the button and put it somewhere else. Like
Nice. You can
That's
just
like-
organize it to the way
you
that
can
you
customize
fucking
it whatever way you
Yeah,
want. Like that's why Scuff Gaming is definitely like.
So I think that actually
godlike.
goes in perfectly into that.
I was
that-
about to
that
ask,
debate,
like,
right?
what is your opinion on console gamers versus PC gamers?
Exactly.
Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Little people, like, not a lot of people know this. I started out as a PC gamer, low, fakely. Me and this guy right here.
I didn't even know that.
Shout out my boy Jeremy, man, my
That
brother.
is wild.
Y'all remember him from episode
Five?
four.
Wait, is it 4?
It was millennials.
4 or 5?
I think it was
Millennials-
5.
the
5.
millennials
Fuck
episode.
it.
Just-
This forced parenting.
He was here.
We used to play Max Payne together, man.
Okay.
Him and I used to play Max Payne. We'd switch
Max
from the
Payne
mouse
is
and the
fire.
fucking keypad. Someone would shoot, someone would move.
I remember that game.
And then
That
we
was
used
a
to
good
play
game.
Unreal Tournament. Okay, I used to play
shout
that.
out
He also
Cliffy
had
B.
Gears of War on PC too, but I was trash. And then he was sort of like the person who also introduced me to multiplayer, as well as Kenneth. But back to the conversation. What is your opinion on PC versus console gaming?
It all depends on what you're playing. So,
Yeah.
like, if you're going to play...
Agree.
If I'm playing Call of Duty against a PC gamer, like, he's not going to be able to beat me. Just for the simple fact that on console, you're getting auto-aim. And that's something you don't get on PC.
True.
Even on Fortnite, like, when you plug in a controller, you're getting auto-aim through your controller. So, like, that's one disadvantage for PC, but every other advantage goes to PC. Like, when it comes to reaction time, when it comes to...
I was gonna say the frame per second too, right?
Yeah, frame
Even
per
that-
second.
Zero lag.
There's zero lag.
lag,
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with
Literally,
PC.
right?
Like,
Yeah, my boy was breaking that down to me the other day. He'd be on Twitch and shit.
PC gamers are just overall like just way better, or just being gamers because like there's a player called Shroud. Have you ever seen Shroud?
I think
He
I've
used to
heard of
be-
that player,
Yeah,
actually.
he used to play for
Yeah.
Cloud9 for CS:GO, and now he's just Shroud. He
C-
doesn't play
yes,
that
CS9,
thing.
yeah, CS:GO, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and now the guy is just
That
like
game is crazy.
he's sponsored by HyperX. He's all over like the TV. Even
He
some
was on the
commercials.
ESPN commercial.
Yeah, he's on
with
the
Gordon
ESPN
Hayward and all them.
Gordon Hayward,
And
and
Embiid.
Embiid and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
But he's like, out of all the gamers that I've ever seen, he's like the best gamer I've ever seen. They're like overall in every single video game that he's ever picked up, through PC, through console, whatever it is. The guy is just unbelievable. So
sick.
That-
I'm definitely gonna say PC
honestly,
gamers is crazy.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that, man. My respect goes all to the PC gamers, but you can't
Don't take away from the
I was
console
literally,
gamers,
bro.
though.
Yeah, I
can't
got
take
you,
away from the
bro.
console.
I'm a console player, bro.
He's like,
I'm a
don't make
console,
me
bro.
get to the
I was
fucking
literally
console right
saying-
now,
I was literally
motherfucker.
saying, but I can't take nothing away from the console players, man. Because I ain't one myself. I'm sitting next to a bunch.
I've always been I never played PC.
Always,
so.
Yeah.
always.
You know what I think
always.
about the console thing is? It's like I think aren't sports games better on console? Like
Yeah,
all the
sports
Madden
games,
tournaments
yeah,
on
Madden
NFL?
tournaments,
I mean,
2K, stuff like
yeah,
that is way better. But
PS4?
like they play 2K on PC
PC
now.
too?
But like Madden tournaments and everything is way better on like the console.
They got MLB
Yeah.
the Show on PC.
They do. They have everything on
Yeah,
PC.
they have
they?
everything on PC. I
Yeah,
promise.
I might have to try that
Because
out.
fighting, I
I've
mean,
never seen.
and fighting games
MLB
too are
on
different.
thing.
Like
They
fighting
got
games, they have like
everything, bro, I
stick.
promise, bro.
MLB
No,
the
I'm
Show's
not
fire.
down it.
You know another thing about PC too, like with like GTA and shit. You could have did like the craziest mods.
You can still
Like,
do it on
you can
console
still-
now.
Could you have? No, I'm saying like for example, the
But you
flying
could've always
Superman
done
shit
it.
from
Yeah,
like
you're
San
right, yeah.
Andreas. That was that PC
You could have
shit.
always done that on PC. 'cause
Bro,
PC is
exactly.
more
That's what I'm saying. Bro, PC was next level with the modding shit. You could do whatever.
PC was
GTA
wild.
was wild.
PC
man.
was wild.
Skyrim.
Talking about modding, bro. I actually had a modded controller for Gears of War.
Oh, I remember that.
It was crazy. It would.
FAL, MW2.
I used it for FAL MW2, bro. That shit would just make my shit shoot automatic. It was actually fucking ridiculous.
Yo, even quicker than that, honestly.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah, man.
FAL was one shot. No?
Nah, it wasn't too
Three
bad.
shots.
Single
It was the burst.
no,
Oh no!
SM16.
Oh no!
FAL was one shot.
No, I'm thinking about the
Single
FAMAS.
shot.
I'm thinking about the
FAL
FAMAS.
was
FAMAS.
Yeah.
That was my thing though. One time to the dome. Fuck you, boy. You're my man's. I'll smoke you, dog.
You don't even want to get into that.
I'll
man.
smoke you, dog.
But all right, guys, we're gonna go to our first commercial break, man. This is a request from my guy Study here, man. This is J. Cole, High for Hours. Enjoy.
This is called being high as shit. For hours. That's the name of this song, nigga. High as shit for hours. Here we go. Yeah. American hypocrisy, oh let me count the ways they came here seeking freedom, then they end up owning slaves. Justified it using Christianity, which says religion don't mean shit, it's too much ego in the way. That's why ISIS is a crisis. But in reality, this country do the same shit. Take a life and call it righteous. Remember when Bin Laden got killed, supposedly in a hotel lobby after a show. Was noticing these white ladies watching CNN covering the action. They read the headline and then they all started clapping, as if LeBron had just scored a basket at the buzzer. I stood there for a second, watched them high-five each other. For real? I thought this was thou shalt not kill, but police still letting off on niggas in the Ville, claiming that he reached for a gun. They really think we dumb and got a death wish. Now somebody's son is laying breathless. When I was a little boy, my father lived in Texas. Pulled up in Toyota, drove that bitch like it was Lexus. Put my bag in his trunk and headed off for Dallas. Out there for the summer, feeling just like I was Alice. Lost in the wonderland where niggas still suffering, just like they was back home, and that's wrong. So now it's fuck the government. They see my niggas struggling and they don't give a fuck at all, and that's wrong. Yeah. The type of shit that make you wanna. The type of shit that make you wanna let go. The type of shit that make you wanna. The type of shit that make you. I had a convo with the president. I paid to go and see him. Think about the things I said I'd say when I would see him. Feeling nervous sitting in a room full of white folks. Thinking about the black man plight. Think I might choke. Nope. Raise my hand to ask the man a question. Does he see the struggle of his brothers in oppression? And if so, if you got all the power and the clout as the president, what's keeping you from helping niggas out? Well, I didn't say nigga, but you catch my drift. He looked me in my eyes and spoke, and he was rather swift. He broke the issues down and showed me he was well aware. I got the vibe, he was sincere and that the brother cared. But dog, you in the chair, what's the hold up? He said it's things that I wanna fix, but you know this shit, nigga, politics. Don't stop fighting and don't stop believing. You can make the world better for your kids before you leave it. Change is slow, always has been, always will be. But fuck that, I'ma bust back till they kill me. Change is slow, always has been, always will be. But fuck that, I'ma bust back until they kill me, feel me? Type of shit to make you alright, third verse. Type of shit to make you wanna let go. Type of shit to make you wanna, yeah. Type of shit to make you wanna. Here's a thought for my revolutionary heart. Take a deeper look at history. It's there to pick apart. See the people at the top, they get to do just what they want. Till after a while, the people at the bottom finally get smart. Then they start to holler revolution. Tired of living here in destitution. Fuck that looting. Can you tell me what's the best solution? I used to think it was to overthrow oppressors. See, if we destroy the system, that means we'll have less of greed. But see, it's not that simple. I got to thinking about the history of human nature while this instrumental played. Then I realized something that made me wonder if revolution was really ever the way. Before you trip and throw a fit over these words I say, think about this shit for
Alrighty guys, and welcome back to the Checkbox once again. That was High for Hours by none other than J. Cole. What is going on? For those joining us right now, once again, we are joined by Jeremy StuDyy, Astacio, man. Shout out to Stud. What's going on, brother?
I'm chilling, man. You know, I'm enjoying the environment. You know, it's hella chilling here, man. It's great conversations right now. I'm enjoying this.
Good vibrations.
Man, absolutely. And for those who missed the first segment, we pretty much introduced who StuDyy was. He's a professional gamer now. Analyst for the CWL World Pro League, excuse me. He just came back from London. He was telling us a little bit about that. He also mentioned what he used to do in his beginning stages of gaming. And now we're actually going to dive deeper into that and how he really got into this whole gaming aspect of his life, Stud. And whenever you're ready, man.
Hey, all right. So when I first realized I wanted this to be like a job or just something I wanted to do, it's when I was in high school, sophomore year basically. I went to my first event, which was in Chicago. And I was only 16 years old at the time, and it was Black Ops 2. It was the best competitive game when it came to Call of Duty, just overall in general. That's when I was because at the end of Modern Warfare 3, I was just playing straight S&D tournaments, and then going into Black Ops 2, I was just I want to try to go pro. So that was my set goal, and I was winning a shit ton of money in Modern Warfare 3 S&D tournaments. It was usually me and Fizzer, another player. Me and him used to just go at it when it came to those tournaments. It was $10 to enter. You win. It was a nice 130 or something like that. And it just eventually just build up over that.
Easy come up.
And then eventually, Black Ops 2 came out, and I was just set to become a pro player. So then the first event was UMG Chicago, and it it's not like back in the day when it was 16. It was just you didn't really have money to travel and stuff like that. So then I just played with a group of friends that I had, and it was me, my friend Axe, some other kid, and some other kid. And then it was just we went to some local. Oh, yeah, Sketchy and Mimic. That's the other two. And then we went to some local, and it was in Jersey. And then we were just practicing. We were just all right, let's see if we can go to this local, see what it's like to compete, actually, and just play around like people who play like us. So we went to this local. We ended up winning it. And it was just you win that going to your first local event. You got to be feeling confident. You got people that go.
You're oh shit. You start thinking yo, all right, damn, I'm better than I thought.
Yeah, you got people that go to these locals on a regular, people that just be winning. When you win a local in front of people, it's just it's such a hectic environment. Back in the day, I used to talk mad shit. So when I used to go to locals, it was just mad fun.
It was staticky.
Yeah, nah, ain't nobody. Everybody's really about that because everybody was a game at the end of the day, but. It's whatever. And then so once we won that, we built some confidence. So we got some delusional confidence that we wanted to go to the first event where all the pro players would be at, which is UMG Chicago. So then one of my friends lived in Philly, the other one lived in Jersey, and then obviously I lived in New York. So then the guy that lived in Philly, he ended up driving and picked up the one from Jersey, and then came to pick me up. But I couldn't go unless I was going with my little brother. My mom wouldn't send. Me by myself. So then my little brother was younger than me. I didn't really understand while she was sending a younger person to go with me. so then
reverse.
Mom, I'm younger.
So that's even worse. This nigga can't take care of himself. All right, take your little brother.
Two responsibilities. It's 10 hours to get to Chicago, and then
y'all drove it.
Yeah, so we drove the entire time. So we driving. I wasn't able to drive. So me and my brother, we just sitting in the back, just chilling, just sleeping and stuff like that. We get to Chicago. We staying in like this bullshit motel, but it was whatever. I just wanted to compete. We go to that event. We play top 16 of like 50-something teams, and we're like, okay, like these are a bunch of professional players, like it's whatever. And then like that's when I started getting my name out there, and I met a bunch of people that like I was originally looking up to, and stuff like that. And then like I met them, and it was just like they were like regular people just like me, so it was cool. And then after that is like when I was like, all right, I met these guys, like I have the same passion that they do, like why can't I be where they are? So then I was just like, Black Ops 2 came, and then like after that event, it was like the first event I went to was after that it was MLG Dallas. I ended up getting like top like 32. It was horrible, but I was like.
That's horrible.
Out of what?
Out of like 200 people.
Oh,
like, it's horrible. But like in order to be a pro player, you have to place top 8.
Oh, of course. Oh shit.
Okay.
So like,
All right,
so like when I hit top 32, you know, I beat a couple people and they just like recognized me like da 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 da. I ended up getting like dropped by like this guy called Ego. Like I was teaming with him and then I ended up getting dropped by him. And then like his team ended up placing like some bullshit like top 16, and like that's not what he expected. But I was like way better than like everybody on the team. And he just decided not to take a risk on me. So then he gave me up that event. But then the next event, he picked me up. And he was like my godfather, I guess you can say, because he was the one who gave me my chance. Like,
I love that. I fucking
Godfather, yeah.
I love that. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so like, he bought me my first flight and like a hotel room. And then we ended up going to like UMG St. Louis. So we ended up getting 4th. Like out of all like the teams there. And I was like,
How many teams were
this
there?
like this is easy. It was just like 120 teams. And we
Yeah,
ended up
no
getting,
big deal.
This was easy.
Big deal.
Yeah, it was
easy
easy.
to you.
Yeah, it was easy because I had people like that was next to me that understood like what they were doing. But like, no credit to Ego.
I see what you're saying team-wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I'm not giving any credit to Paul Ego Megna. That guy was like the worst person I've ever played with in my life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I promise you that. He's like when people ask you about him, he's like bottom of the barrel. But like Ego was like the person. He was like the person who started people's careers, and I'm appreciative for him, man. Me and him, we still mad cool, me and my boy. But once he gave me that, we got 4th, and then eventually I joined a team. It was just me, him, a guy called Ricky, and a guy named Gucci. We went to MLG Anaheim, and that's when I first placed pro. We ended up beating Envy, which is like the biggest org. Like that was my favorite organization at the time.
Envy, bro.
Yeah, because my favorite color was blue,
and
like they used to have Proofy, Rambo, J-Cap, and Merc. Like they used to have like the set squad. Like it was dope. And then like when we beat them 3-0, like to place pro. And then like we ended up losing the next round, and like only placing top 8, but we got 7th place. And then I was just like, I was mad happy. Like I'm a pro player now. Like I went out and see what I did. Then eventually after that, it was just like seeing like how I can grow off that. Like once I became a pro, like everybody started knowing who I was. Like I started talking to a whole bunch of different people. And then after Black Ops 2 was done, it became Ghost. Once Ghost came out, it was like I was on a team called Justice at the beginning of the year. It was like me, Gucci, Tipsy, and Chino. And like we were like an underdog team. Like nobody knew who we were. Like we lost.
No expectations.
Yeah, we went through open bracket. So you have to go through open bracket to make it to champ bracket, and then when you made it to champ bracket, you play like all the pro players because they already like seeded high, and like the low seeds started in open bracket. So then, but we lost like 3rd round in open bracket, and like some Halo kids, and it was like now it's formal and like enable and stuff like that. These are like players that came from Halo, and now they're playing professional Call of Duty players, and they're still like up to par doing their thing. And then we lost to those kids, so we ended up like we're just sitting there in losers bracket. So if we lose, we go home. We like at 128th place right now. Like if we lose, we go home. So then, like, the whole Friday, we played through that entire thing. We make it to top 32. We ended up, like, beating the hell out of, like, some kids, like, just smoking them. Because we shouldn't have lost, to be honest. Like, we thought we were hella better than that. So then we make it to Saturday. Saturday comes, and, like, we play Optic Gaming first. Like, Optic Gaming, we had, like, the entire fan base behind us just yelling at us because it's so big. But we ended up beating them. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here, Jack.
And then so we was talking shit to the fans and stuff behind us. And then like once we beat them, we ran into a team called Curse LV. We ended up beating them. And that was another one of those powerhouse teams that everybody was talking about. Smoked them.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here, Jack.
So right here, right now? So we went from top 32. We won one. Top 16. We won another one. Top 12.
Oh, top 12. Okay. Wow.
And then so we won the next game versus SB. We beat them 3-1. And at this point, my team is just riding off of straight energy. Like,
I got adrenaline right now, nigga.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm like, fuck them niggas, yo.
Yeah.
The question though, between these matches is like how much time do you have between these
Like
matches?
15, 20 minutes. like
You gotta stay hot. You gotta stay
Yeah.
hot.
Yo, bro,
Of
course.
Yo,
You
you
gotta
just
stay
made
warm.
yo. I'm just getting mad memories, bro. When I was like just
Yeah.
fiending, I was like, oh my
Hey,
god.
quick question: how long? I mean, I'm sure you're gonna get to the end of it at the end of this, but like, how long is this process though? Like, I mean,
I'm telling you, it's like once Friday. Once you get through Friday, if you go through loser bracket, you have to play from like 10 a.m. to like 12 p.m. like 12 a.m. the next day.
shit.
Like it's just
Winning.
like a whole day grind.
Just winning, yeah.
So then like
But
we're
continue,
playing,
please,
we're playing for top 8, and it's like it's a best of 5 series. So then we're tied 2-2 last map. It's S&D, and it's like I'm in left in a 1v3. We down 4-5, and like we was playing some English kids. Like these English kids, they were called TCM at the time, and they were like the best team from Europe.
Right.
So then it's a 1v3. And then, like, it's for us to stay in the game. Like, not
shook
even
right
to
now.
win.
I'm shook
Not even to win, but for us to stay in the
Wow.
game. So then, like, I plant the bomb in a 1v3. It's like 20 seconds left. They can't find me. And then eventually one of them decides to hop it. I killed one of them, killed the guy off bomb, and then the last guy, I destroyed him in front of 1v3. And, like, I got up and just started yelling at these kids. Like, like they didn't even understand what I was saying because they were from Europe. But, like, they couldn't even believe it. They thought they had the game in the bag, and I just literally ripped it from their soul. Just like that.
Yeah, you did.
And this was
Yo,
would you say that was like your defining moment? Like,
Yeah, like
that
once that happened, I was like, oh yeah, there's no
It's
losing
over
this
for
shit.
That's it.
So then we go 5-5. Last map is first to round 11. So it's basically round 11. And then my teammate gets first blood, so it's a 4v3. And then my other teammate, like, he plants the bomb, but then he dies, so it's a 2v4. And then it's me and my man Chino. At the time, it's 2 of us versus 4 of them. And, like, we have the bomb set up. We have our setup already in mind. Like, we understand, like, what we're supposed to be looking at. We ended up clutching that out. We ended out 6-5. I look at the other players. I was just talking mad shit the entire time. And, like, they had a coach, too. The coach was even yelling at us when we were playing them. I'm like, all right. So, like, after we won that, like, I was just sitting there talking mad shit. Even the coach is just sitting there, like, losing his mind.
yeah. Like, what is going
Did you
on?
guys have a coach as well? Or?
No. We just had an owner. We had an owner who would just gas us up, like, good shit. Like, good shit.
He was just trying to get y'all niggas win.
He was just like, yo, you representing me, like, do your thing. But, like, just looking at those other players and just watch them be defeated like that, it felt so good. In the soul.
Hell yeah. Especially coming from fucking, what was it, 130?
Yeah,
130
so
seconds?
from 128 all the way
the
down.
dog from the get.
Yo.
That shit feels
It's amazing when you win a fucking
Yeah,
comp.
so then we beat them, and then, like,
Where
right
you
there,
at
we're
now?
at top 6.
Okay.
And then,
top 8.
you have to be feeling like
intense, dude.
I watched those kids; they were just shedding tears. Like I ended up talking to them after. Like me and them are hella cool still now, and just like they even made like when I clustered from them on the map, they made the call out after me. Like they were like depressed as shit for like dumb blowing after that. I was like, bro, it's like nothing I can do.
They
like,
made the call out, so
yeah.
like,
So like whenever somebody pushed that area where I 1v3 them, they were like, yo, that's a study area. Like they knew it by heart.
Yeah.
And then
Yo, that's wild.
so then we beat
That
them,
should be serious.
and then we going on top 6, and then we play some trash ass Canadian team. We beat the shit out of them, and then we're playing for top 4 right now versus Envy again.
Oh, God.
Right. So then we play Envy. We destroy them in the S&Ds. I remember they couldn't that was my best game as a sniper. Like this when the year just started, it was my best game.
By the way, guys, S&D is search and destroy.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
say,
search
I
and
was-
destroy.
I
We
never
never said
it.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
S&D is search and destroy. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a game type in Call of Duty. Go play COD.
If when you
One
die,
life.
you doubt.
So
Yeah, one life, you out for the
COD
night.
is Call of Duty as well for those.
Yeah.
The COD father, the Call of Duty godfather. Yeah.
So then we playing Envy, and like at that time it's still my favorite team. Like I want to play for these guys. Like I want to like beat these guys because I love like the organization as a unit. Like
So when you get there, you want to be like, I'm better than you.
yeah, exactly. So then like we ended up playing them, and we ended up beating them last map, and like we're on the main stage, and like I never felt like more like adrenaline in my life, like because people didn't know who we were,
So that's
and
why
like
it's
just
even
to
better.
come from like all from 128th, and now we're like top 3, top 4. It was just mind blowing, and like
bro.
right after that, bro, like once we beat Envy like dropped a player, and then they picked me up, and then once I was on Envy, like that's when I just finished graduating high school, and I remember I had to talk with my mom. She always wanted me to go to college, and like I still want to go to college still to this day. I ended up not going, but I told her like once I graduated, just to give me like 4 months to just see what like this would take me, because there's once at that year they announced like $1 million tournament for like a Call of Duty thing, and so like I was like, yo, mom, I could really do this. Like I got an offer like from this team, and it's like one of the biggest organizations. I even had the manager talk to her and stuff like that. So in order for me to like join the team, I had to move out to North Carolina by myself. 18. I had no money in my pocket. I went to that shit with $5. My teammates, they were supporting me in the beginning. I had Rambo, I had Merc, and I had Nameless, and then Hastro was our manager.
Wow.
And like, I didn't have no money. I was the youngest kid in there, you know, brace face, didn't know how to wash my laundry, didn't know how to cook, didn't do none of that.
It's crazy.
So then,
That's insane.
so then we were just sitting there, like, I was playing around, like, people that I was always looking up to, and I was playing for the organization that I was a fan of my entire life. So then it was just like, it felt good to like represent them. So then when I moved to North Carolina, my mom actually let me. And then I just told her to give me 4 months. And then in that 4 months, there was a regional qualifier to qualify to get in to go to the $1 million tournament. And then we ended up, we get to the tournament. We went the first round. That's like, you need to get like top 16 in order to qualify for the tournament. And we went all the way up to the top 16 round. We played Optic Gaming. And then this is like the team that, it was like, the Boys in Blue versus Optic. It was like the rivalry. It was just like always like the El Clasico. Because like Optic was always playing Envy. And then, so I felt like I had a big step on my shoulders because I'm representing Envy, playing against Optic. And they had like some of the best players. Still to this day, they have like Scump. And then, so we played Optic Gaming and we beat them 3-1. Like the first map, I destroyed them. The S&D destroyed them. And then like, I remember like, my teammate Rambo, he's like really old compared to like me. So me and him always used to get into arguments because he always thought I was making mistakes. So like, we didn't really get along until after that qualified. After I destroyed Optic Gaming and we qualified, like he actually started showing me respect. Yeah. But like overall, he was showing me respect, but he was showing me like tough love. Like he just wanted me to to show me the ropes of like what it took to like be where it was. So then after he did that, we qualified for the tournament. And it was like, you know, you feel good after that. You know, like I got a chance to go play for $1 million. And I'm only 18 years old. Like I called my moms, you know, we qualified. The tournament was in LA. So then we had like 3-4 weeks until the tournament. We get to the tournament, and it's like, you know, it's so surreal at the moment because I'm only 18 and I'm playing for $1 million. So then I'm just sitting there.
Imagine that.
18 years old.
Yeah.
While most of us graduated high school.
Playing a video game.
Yeah. I'm so like, I'm so grateful for the fact
Shout
that
out,
she
Mom.
loved me. Yeah.
That's
And then, so then like when I went into the tournament, I only had $5 and like 65 cents in my bank account.
Humble.
Right. So then like my teammates are still paying for me for everything, whatever. And then we get to the tournament. The first day is pool play. So you have a team. It's like a bracket. It's you and 3 other teams. So it's like the team that comes up with the best record makes it through. So there was a team. We ended up winning our first match and losing our second match. And then the team that ended up pushing through, they won all 3 of their matches. So they were already on top. So then the last 3 on the bottom, which is us and 2 other teams, we all were tied at a 1-1 record. So we all had to play like a one and done search and destroy game, like between each other, and whoever lost twice was out, or whoever lost twice was out. So then we ended up like, it was just a shitty last day for us, like when it came to pool play, but we ended up clutching that up. It was me and Nameless at the time, and we were just like a duo when it came to that event, and we ended up winning that one and done S&D, pushing it to Saturday. Because if we would have lost that day, we would have been eliminated for the tournament. Just that simple. Just like that. Like, we practiced all this time and just get home.
Jeez.
So then Saturday came. We make it into bracket play, and we play, like, a team called SB, Strictly Business. They were, like, the best team, I guess you could say, or the second best team besides Complexity at the time. And we ended up losing to them 3-1. So they knocked us down immediately to the loser bracket. So, like, we're literally sitting there at top 32, about to play for top 16, and in order to make money, you needed to place top 16. So top 16 was like $2,000 each. Like, then as you kept going higher, you just kept getting more money. So then we play a team called Epsilon. It was a European team, and we go all the way to the last map, like game 5, and it's tied 4-4. And then it's like my teammate Nameless in a 1v3 versus them. And he pulled off, like, the most dramatic 1v3 in, like, our lives. Like, it was the craziest shit I've ever seen. And, like, so we go up 5-4. We ended up losing the next round and then winning 6-5 on that round. And it was, like, emotional at that point. 'Cause you know what I'm saying? I'm only 18. Like I said, I went in there with $5 in my account. And at that point, we just made, like, $2,000. So, like, me and my friend Nameless were both, like, broke as shit. And, like, we look at each other like, bro, we just made, like, $2,000. Like, let's see what else we could go for.
Was this each or the team?
Each. Ooh. Right. So
yeah, a lot of people were probably thinking $2,000 amongst the team.
Like,
this is $2,000 each.
And how many people in this team?
4.
4 people in this team.
He
So
came with
like
$5.
Wow,
Right.
and they just.
So we made like $8,000, and then like so we played another team right after that, TK, and it was playing against a kid named Formal. He was like a player that came from Halo, and now he plays Call of Duty professionally. He's hella good at Call of Duty now. He was hella good at Halo. But then at the time, he was just like coming up. He was the one who beat me at like that event to knock me in the loser bracket at Columbus where I got third. So then we ended up playing it, man. Like we over here had a rivalry where it was just like who was the better sniper. We ended up going last map, and I ended up winning the map like 6-2, and I was like 11-1 with the sniper. It was Octane S&D. We ended up destroying them, and like it was just easy at that point. Like once we had like our team rolled off momentum, so like me and Nameless, we would just get hyped because I was destroying kids when it came to the sniper. Like no one could outshoot me or anything like that. So we beat them for top 8. So then at that point, me and Nameless was just looking up like, yo, bro, we just made like another 2 racks. Like let's just keep it going, God. And then we played. Then we went to bed on that. We woke up the next day. We played some Canadians for top 6. And we ended up beating the hell out of them. They were, I don't even know how they got there. Yeah, I don't even know how they got there, but they ended up beating them. So then, like, at that point, we're like 8K each. And we're like, oh my God, like, it's just crazy. Like, let's keep going.
So this is 8K in the bank account. Like,
so then,
8K $5.
So then we played the team SB, again, the team that originally beat us to knock us in the loser bracket. So then we were like, yo, this team is a powerhouse. Like, we got to come out and just fucking do something crazy. Like,
do work.
So then first map was like Strike Zone Dom, and that's the map that they beat us on the first map.
Domination.
And then we ended up playing them on it, and we beat the hell out of them first map. And it was like mind blowing. It's like we rode off to like some angel god, like just like giving us like powers and some shit. We beat them first map. We were like mind blown because they were like the best team. We were just like crazy because we weren't really that good at that map. So we were just like, fuck it.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so we beat them on that first map. We were like, oh yeah. And then it came like to the S&D. It was the second map. It was Warhawk S&D. We ended up beating them 6-0. And they only one player on the team got a kill, and it was the last round. Like we went almost flawless the entire game.
Holy shit!
The entire game we went flawless, and then like the last 15 seconds, he killed one of us, and then we killed them.
Oh my God!
So all of them, it was 3 0-6s and 1 1-6.
Bro, that's demoralizing.
Bro, that is so nice.
Bro, that's demoralizing.
At this point, we're looking at these kids like. We are beating the hell out of these fools. Like we're not losing to these kids.
It doesn't matter. Like,
so then we beat them, and we just felt hella good at that point. And then right there, we're top 4, bro. Like we got like 12K each at that point. And then like we play Optic Gaming. We play Optic Gaming to get for top 2, like to make it to the grand finals. And like this is the team that we beat at the regionals,
right? Like
already. And I was like delusional confident. We ended up beating them. And then we're all the way. We're playing for the last championship. We ended up losing that, but just overall, at the end of it, like I ended up getting second at my first $1 million tournament. Like I said, I went in with $5 in my bank account, and I walked out with $50,000, $5.65.
Yo,
that's crazy.
How many days of gaming?
3 days.
This is
yo. You know, is that the check that's on your wall when I pulled up to your?
That's my championship.
Oh, look at that. Bro,
son,
yo, that's
what? Wait,
you see what I'm saying?
Wait.
After that happened, like I said, remember I told my mom I needed 4 months.
Yeah,
and like in that 4 months, I made $50,000.
What did she say when you came back?
Yeah, because I'm
like,
sure your mom was like
nah,
you know,
like I called her immediately, and like she's just crying because she was watching on the phone with my stepfather at the time, and she was just crying, like just so proud because that's why I was like, Mom, I did it. Like even during the interviews, I'm acting like some immature ass kid, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the Gucci store, buy all this shit.
Nah,
like,
I was gonna say for your mom, it was your mom was probably looking at this. She was probably so happy with herself, you know what I'm saying? That she was like that she let you do that, you know what I'm saying? That's probably why it was so crazy for her. She was, not even that. Also too, she was also happy that you believed in yourself enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
She
as a
knows
parent,
how dedicated I was because I used to go days without eating. Like,
nah, bro.
Days without going out my room.
Yeah,
like,
they noticed that, son.
Bill.
Yeah,
it didn't matter, bro. As long as like she was able to believe in me because like that was a struggle. Like even getting through that because I remember like in the beginning, like. I was thankful for my stepfather at the time because he was able to talk about my mom's like to what I wanted to do because he understood what it was.
Yeah.
So like I remember my mom at the beginning she didn't really like it, so she would kick me out the house and then I'd have to go to my grandmother's house. My grandfather used to come in and try to unplug shit at 10 o'clock at night, like 10 p.m. I used to be like, I'm still playing, like still playing, like, and then like, you know, that's when I had the job in Wendy's and I was just like buying all my little stuff. And my grandfather used to just unplug it, like I used to be scared I used to break and stuff like that. So then I eventually boomed back to my mom's, and then my mom's like she started to understand, and then eventually it became that thing. And then once I brought $50,000 home, like, you know, we cried and stuff like that. You know, I gave my mom's hella bread. Yo. You know, I bought my first car and stuff like that.
She was like, all right, we're gonna put the game room here.
Yo, bro,
all right,
real talk,
whatever
bro,
system
man,
you need.
This shit sounds like a whole movie, bro. Like I'm
yo,
like, you
facts.
have me like this, like
I
was just on a roller coaster of emotions. And you know what's crazy, bro, is I would have never guessed that a gamer would go through so much shit.
Nah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, Oh,
It's a grind.
That's amazing.
It's a grind.
Man. That
I'm
is.
telling you, it's just the dedication. You gotta understand, like the dedication that I had for that it was just unbelievable. And I'm happy that I was, cause like I could say that, like, you know what I'm saying, I played baseball and shit when I was a kid and stuff like that, but like I was never really into sports. Like, but just overall, when it came to that game, and I just knew I was like so addicted to it, and like
When you love being addicted to it.
I would do anything it took to get where I wanted to be. Yeah. And then eventually it worked out.
It's a beautiful fucking story, bro. That
Facts.
is a beautiful story.
You know,
Alec, you had something, bro?
Yeah, nah, to be honest, I mean, it's something that you touched on in the beginning, just like you finding your kind of courage to get the bravery just to get into something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the confidence. You know, because some people never make it past the casual elite gamers, like you said, like, you know, a lot of
the casual elite.
How the fuck do you make that jump? And it's literally just as easy as being like, yo, listen, these are the motherfuckers that I look up to. They're regular people.
Yeah,
they literally
like
are regular people, and that's really funny. I mean, it's really important for us to think about that right now. Like, you know, regardless of what discipline you're in, gaming, science, whatever it may be. You know,
the same rules apply, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
exactly.
Same physics.
I was literally thinking that as you were saying, the sleepless nights, your grandfather coming in and unplugging your Xbox, it's the same shit as waking up at 6 a.m. and fucking running 5 miles.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then lifting after that, and then going to school, and then lifting after that, and then fucking practicing. It's all about the dedication.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean?
barbering and stuff like that. You know,
Same shit.
I mean, you just came back from a fucking barber convention. You know,
bro.
in LA.
I flew to
How
LA
many of those
for a
motherfuckers
convention.
are just regular people? They're just like you, just as cool as you, just as chill as you, just as, you know. You know, and it's just like,
I think it's important too how he mentioned how you go to a completely different place with $5, which I think is important to highlight, just because you didn't know how you were gonna do anything.
It didn't matter.
All you knew was like, yo, I'm about to compete.
I'm about to
go compete. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anything. I just know that from a certain time, these 3 days, I'm gonna be in a place where there's gonna be a console and me playing. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know how, but you went and did it. That's important. Like, you just gotta take that first step. And also,
risk.
it was also a new market. You know what I'm saying? It was a complete, like, this is the newly developing thing. Like, this wasn't been around. Like, when was like the first year of this shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is fucking recent, and that was like pretty that was a really brand new, like, just scene. You know what I'm saying? That's
all
crazy.
those years ago, you would never see like a Samsung commercial talking about ninjas called you up to the protein.
Yo, yeah.
Never seen that 6 years ago, and now you see that on Samsung phone commercials.
When I seen that shit, I was actually in
crazy.
awe. I'm like, yo, there's no fucking way a Fortnite player is on a fucking television screen right now promoting a phone.
It's incredible. It's incredible. The people that the people that what it takes to get to the public screen like that, to get to the public stage.
Yeah.
We never thought in our lifetime that it would be like that
At all.
And it's just not even like a quarter of our lifetime.
Like,
it's not even the money
It's
for
not.
me. It's
like,
just the notoriety. It's like the money is one thing, because there are plenty of things we've heard of that people make a ton of money. Like we never see poker
It's
commercials,
changing,
and they make
though.
millions of dollars. But
That's a good point.
to see like ESPN is nationally, everybody has ESPN on their on their cable bill, right? So it's like to see an ESPN commercial with Ninja. You know, somebody who most people hadn't even heard of until a year ago, 2 years ago.
You know what's crazy?
That's crazy. Like,
I was randomly like scrolling through IG, and I used to follow MLG at the time, and they had a flick of him like yelling, but it was a promotion for Call of Duty, and I sent it to him. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm like, yo, this is dead ass bro. I was dumb hype. And you know what's crazy? That actually, it's been a question, you know, lingering in my head, and I'm sure a bunch of other people want to know. You went from being analyzed to now becoming an analyst, and how short of a time was this? When did you become?
I became an analyst in November, I'm pretty sure. Like, once the new game came out, you know, I started in the beginning, like, trying to compete. But, you know, obviously you just couldn't find the right, like, teammates to you know, play for the big money.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't feel like you could win, or just have confidence in your teammates, there's honestly no point in wasting your time.
Yeah.
But just overall, you know, just living on myself as well. You know, you also had to pay bills, so I needed to, like, think fast. Like,
Find something.
so then, like, I became an analyst in November. And then the first event was for the new game, which is Black Ops 4, was CWO Vegas. And I remember, like, I was supposed to compete at that event, but then I was just like, it's a waste of time. Like, I got to buy my stuff, like, probably, and just, like, try to go compete and try to make a name. Like, I try to do something, because everybody knows who I am, but, like, just try to do something. So then I was just like, nah, it's not really, like, just worth, like, that much of a risk, because I know it's, like, hard to find teammates at the time. So then I was just like, all right, so I'm going to hit up, like, just MLG and see what they have. because I remember they offered the job even when I was like playing as a player, like a couple years back.
I'm curious actually, how did that come about? Did they just hit you up?
No, it's because like so in the pro gaming thing, people have like personalities, and it's hard to have a personality and like be like a person that you be able to talk to or just function around, because like throughout my entire Call of Duty career, I was just always make sure people know who I actually was. Like it didn't matter if you were playing against me or if you just didn't know who I was.
Network.
Yeah. But like if you played against me, you know who I was because I was yelling at you. When I was young, I was just yelling at people just like, every time. Like that's how you know I was really like destroying you.
Yeah.
Like I used to really destroy people.
Yeah.
Like, I used to, like, when I look back at it, bro, I was crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, the picture that I saw, he was like,
Like I'm telling you,
yelling
like,
at the top of his
I used to just
Like a
kill
fucking
people, and I
Viking,
used to just be
like-
yelling, bro. Like my teammates used to ask for call outs. Used to be, that's all you hear out of me is just me just
Whatever
going.
works,
They're
bro.
like, go ahead, keep doing. I'm
Yo,
like just
fact,
killing
that
everything in
ass,
my
yo.
path, bro.
Was it because, are you screaming because that's just how riled up you are, or because you're also trying to get into their head a little bit too?
It's a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit.
It's like you want to get into your head,
But
you
you're also
wanna
feeling
get
it.
your teammates hype.
Yeah.
You want to get yourself hype.
Yo, that's
Especially if
crazy.
you're doing good, you're gonna want them to feel it.
It's
and
a
you want them to
warrior
know that you
scream,
know
bro.
that you
That's-
feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
a
it's just like
virtual warrior.
it's like you want to make
bro.
sure like you putting your foot down in that situation. Like, bro,
Let
if you
what's up.
cross this line, I'm gonna
Okay,
kill you.
yeah.
It's plain and simple.
That's
That-
crazy.
And that's what it was. Like I promise you, if you go on YouTube and you just search it up, you just watch like study, like you type in study COD and you just watch up videos.
Let's make a highlight video.
Yeah, we're
No.
totally gonna put like let's get a compilation going.
Yeah, we'll make a highlight video. Is there a highlight video yet of you screaming?
There's a
Do you have
highlight
a
video
compilation?
everywhere.
Because I mean, that was
we would have to
I
make one.
promise you. You just see the people I'm yelling at, and it's just like you can just tell like they don't have a chance versus me. It's so sad, but like that's what it was. And like
Yeah,
there's
it's
players
good,
like nowadays, like Clayster, he still competes. He's one of my best friends. You know, me and him go on vacation like basically every year. And, like I met him through gaming, but like one thing that me and him always had in common is like when we played against each other, we would always bring out the best in each other because he would yell if he did something crazy, and I would yell if I did something crazy.
Boy.
So then like,
And it was
that's what we
genuine
became.
though. It wasn't like he wasn't just screaming because you were screaming. Like
it was all in game shit. Like it don't matter if it's shit talk or anything like that. It's just between me and him. It was just like we know we just be able to bring out the best in each other. So why would we not? Like I want the best of you, so you better get the best of me. Like so let's go. Let's see what we got.
beneficial for both of you too.
Exactly.
yo, that's
exactly.
awesome, man. I do have a question though, bro. Now that you're on the other end of things, like, is the love for the game different?
Nah, the love for the game always is the same. Like Call of Duty is the one that gave me a life. Call of Duty started my entire my adulthood or whatever I'm living
Your
now.
career,
It's
I
like
guess
a
you could say,
dream. Yeah, I'm living a dream. So like the love for the game will never change. It's just like
What about you can finish.
it's just like you know what I'm saying. I just miss that the competing.
Okay,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That
that's what
fire,
I
like
was gonna ask
to
you
wake
about.
up every day in the morning and just have like a reason.
Yeah.
Wakes
You know
up
what I'm
and
saying?
yells.
Like if I could just wake up like I'm about to shit on everybody today, like so
I mean, it's hard
that's
to.
the
I'm
only
a
thing
shit on
I
every
miss.
other
Just the
analyst.
competition, but
I'ma
just the fact that
analyze.
I'm able to watch because now Call of Duty's are it's tip top, like the best competitions ever been in. Like you have young kids that are coming in at 18 that have just been scouted over the years, like ever since being 15. Like there's this new kid named Simp. Like he's been going to locals ever since he was 15, 14, 13, whatever. Yeah. And like he's just finally turned 18, and then he was on like a cadet team for like an organization of a pro team. Yeah. And then once he turned 18, he went from a cadet player to a professional player. And like
So different
it's because
now.
people have just been scouting him this entire year, and they just realized like he's a different kind of talent. He went to his first event, and the kid had like the greatest event I've ever seen out of a player for his first event ever.
You think you had a chance against this guy? If you
your
had-
Back in the day, like
No. I'm curious about the state of you right now.
nah.
do you
He's
feel?
definitely whooping my ass.
Oh,
'cause
wait.
he been practicing.
Black Ops 4?
Nah, in Black Ops 4, like
okay.
the mechanics in that game is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But like, just overall, like if I was able to put in as much time and like dedication around like he has,
And
then,
get back to you.
I'd definitely still be able to go with
No,
him.
yeah. I wasn't sure if you were still playing or not.
Don't
but-
nobody like I still pick up the controller and still be able to do the
Nah,
same
I
thing.
forgot
I
it
still
was
do
one
today.
right now.
But I was gonna say how do you like the perspective that you have now compared to?
It's
Because
still
it's different. Like,
Yeah,
or have you had noticed
it's just
anything
a lot-
different?
It's a lot less stressful, because
Okay.
as being a professional
Not bad.
player, you got to go up against players, and then like sometimes you get paid your salary, but you also get paid off winnings.
Right.
So like you always want to play for like I guess you could say for the money, but like a lot of people play for the money, but you also play for the pride. So like when you're playing against certain people, if the competition is at its highest, it's gonna be hard to like fight them in certain maps or just be like that, whatever. But like just overall, just like the perspective is just like of an analyst. It's like it's not the same as being a professional player because like it's just a competition at that point.
No, but you don't notice anything that you haven't noticed before, or anything like that, or just.
I'm sure he does. I mean, I'm sure you see new shit.
No, I'm saying because it's different.
You gotta think too. It's different.
It's just
games.
it's just yeah, because
Oh,
the game
okay,
changes
that
every
is
year.
true. That is true.
The game
Yeah,
changes
yeah.
every year, so like the mechanics is different. But just like the only thing different nowadays is just, like people take a lot of things more serious. Like back when I was playing. Like,
Why, Word? You would say that?
Yeah,
I feel like game has always been like.
Nah. Like I remember back in the day, I used to be like a party animal. Like I was like that.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
whenever I played, I was
Yeah.
like that guy.
Okay.
And then just like overall, I just feel like it's a lot more professional now. And like if I was like made up in this era back in the day, I'd definitely still be playing. But I could still be playing. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
Let him know what's up. Yeah, let him know what's up, man.
Yeah, less public relations back in the day. Like, it was
Yeah.
just.
Yo, man, that was fucking awesome, bro. I appreciate you taking us through your whole fucking journey.
was intense,
man.
Yo,
Yes,
it
sir.
was
That was
very
intense.
intense, man. Like I said, you had me on a fucking emotional roller coaster here, man. And we're gonna take our second break of this episode. We're gonna have none other than my guy Wiz Khalifa take
Yes,
you out
sir.
with "You Don't Have to Hide" featuring Young Deji. Enjoy.
You already know, man. I got a deuce, I got an ace, I got a car for every bump on your dirty face. If you ain't gang, then you in the way. No, we ain't the same. Diamond spelling out my name. Shorty want the pleasure, but it come with pain. Hard to tame and blessed with a lot of game. Keep the kush under a flame. The grind was a slow process, but well worth it. Now they nervous, shit get way deep under the surface. I traveled all around the earth and never missed a day of work. You falling off, I'm keeping it more player. Smoke one flavor, parking my low riders, pissing my neighbors off. Been in the game way too long and ain't take a loss. How you showing up to work late and think you a boss? My plane taking off, more money in the bank, less time spent waiting on someone else.
You don't have to hide no more. You don't have to hide no more. You don't have to hide no more. You don't have to hide no more.
Always have and always will be. The sickest, my nigga, ain't no remedy. Stay on the grind, ain't no plan B. You hustle hard, you understand me. Roll up the plans, stuffing them $100 bills in my pants. She ran out of luck, last chance, ahead of my time, way too advanced. Wondering what my new shit gonna sound like. Rolling kush by the pound. Ain't tough unless your niggas is around. Still underground, with 30 mil a year, how that sound? My son straight, so I ain't gotta worry about much. You out of touch, money straight, pile it up. I can buy what I want. I ain't taking her out on a date. No way, sunshades, brighter days, rolling kush up, liking them J's. My flow is more exciting, you niggas more into biking. Less talking, more writing, more writing, more writing, more writing.
You don't have to hide no more. You don't have to hide no more. You don't have to hide no more. You don't have to hide no more.
And welcome back to the Chec Box. Once again, that was Wiz Khalifa with "You Don't Have to Hide." Oh, bunch of smoke over here. We over here blowing jewels and whatnot. Once again, for those joining us, welcome to the Chec Box. It's your boy Chec, and I'm joined by none other than my guy HP Alec Kenneth, and our special guest for this episode, Studdy. Make some noise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Let's get it going.
we are here, man. And for those who missed the first two segments, we spoke pretty much a lot about my guy Studdy here. He mentioned how he just came back from his trip from London. We spoke with him basically about how he got into gaming, what has pushed him, his whole fucking path, and his first full competition where he made it to the final round. Unfortunately, lost. Went to LA with $5.95.
$5.65.
65 cents and left there with how much?
$50,000, $5.65.
And how old are you?
18.
18 years old, playing fucking Call
Yes,
of
sir.
Duty,
Yes, sir.
making 50 racks.
A dream.
And we just asked him about his life-changing, basically lifestyle, altering from a professional gamer to an analyst. And if you could just break down pretty much what it takes to be an analyst, man. Like, what is the analyst life like?
Yeah, so everybody knows you got like the Stephen A. Smiths, right? Like, the intelligent people to understand like the sport, to understand whatever you're doing. But then you got like the people that are like the players, like like the Shaqs, the Charles.
Like Stephen A. didn't play, but he's very knowledgeable of the game.
Exactly,
Knows the history.
Well, he played just not in the pro.
So like when you have the professional player, or say for instance the player in general, you have that inside look of like just like getting the inside of like what they're feeling, like if they're down 0-2 in a series, like how do they come back, or like just what is going through their minds during certain times.
You can sympathize.
Like, you could like try to compare it, or like just realize like I was in that situation before, like tell them what I know. But just being an analyst, at least from this point, especially in Call of Duty, is like I understand Call of Duty so well. Doesn't matter like what game mode it is, and it's just so good that like I'm able to like express it, or just like share the intelligence that I have with like certain people that just don't simply understand. Just like certain things about the game, like certain rotations on hard points. Like if you lose hard point rotations, you're gonna lose the map. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter if you're out slaying or certain things like that. And that's just certain things that people just don't know about, like game modes and stuff like that. Obviously in SCD, it's one life, like you die, you live, whatever. But just over on these other game modes, it's just hard for certain people to understand. And like when you're an analyst, especially when you've played the game mode and understand it deeply, you can tell what like what's going on through the minds of like these certain players. And like especially when you're watching the game and you're realizing like, all right, this player is rotating now at 30 seconds because the next hill is a power hill, and if you hold this next power hill, you can get a full 60 seconds. It's like King of the Hill. Hardpoint is like King of the Hill. It's like first to 250, each hill 60 seconds. And then it rotates. It's like a full rotation of like probably 4 to 5 hills depending on the map and stuff like that. But just learning like what pushes there are, and just learning like how the players are feeling at certain points. Just having that inside look is just being a good analyst. And like just also backing up stats and obviously stuff like that. Just realizing like keeping track of what the player is doing, what impactful plays he's making, like what is he doing on the map to make sure his team wins, like what kind of MVP performance he's putting on. Just overall, just the inside look from a former pro perspective,
Gotcha.
compared to an analyst now. So it's a lot easier just looking at it from this perspective.
So it is live commentating that you're
No. Live commentating is different. Okay. So like
a
when you're
kind of thing. Is what he's thinking about.
Yeah. So live commentating is like, I'm not a commentator. We have codcasters, which is like Maven and them that just like, when they're playing, they're calling out play by play. And just realizing what's going on. At the end, when they throw it back to us at the desk, we're like the analyst desk.
Like the post-game
we're
show.
just we're catching the things that you probably they didn't bring up.
So
you're highlighting
like,
things.
So say for instance, like the map is 5-5, and like what's the reason that they won this map? And like the pro players are just like, I mean, like the casters are just like, oh, and they just pulled out this crazy win, Let's go to the analyst and find out how they figured
so
it out.
So this is like usually like a post game
breaking it down.
Breakdown.
They gave you the play by play live action, and then you gave the breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Can you give us an example of a common, basically like breakdown you do?
All right, so basically, say for instance, we have Optic Gaming versus 100 Thieves, and the two power players here are going to be Dashy and Octane. Octane is running the ICR role, which is the main ICR, which is the main AR role. He's going to be making sure he's holding the rotations for his team. He's also picking up, peppering players as they go down, and just focusing on time and picking up his kills when he needs to. Dashy, on the other hand, on Optic Gaming, he's going to be their Maddox player, the aggressive player that's going to go in there, fly in, probably not first or second, but he's going to be able to pick up that 2-piece, that 3-piece, and try to hold his team, help him on the spawns, pick up a couple kill streaks here, and do what he needs to do. So we're going to have to find out between these two players, because Octane is holding a 1.5 KD on this certain map, while Dashy's holding a 1.3. So if his songs are not working on this map together, because all of it right now is just straight teamwork. Call of Duty became straight teamwork. So if the ICR player on the Octane side, if he doesn't have his songs enabled and Priesta just like running around doing what they have to do, especially on maps like Arsenal and like Frequency and stuff like that, and then you have Dashy who's going to run around on Frequency and Gridlock and just run around with his Maddox doing his thing. That's going to be hard for him to keep up, and hopefully we'll see how the series goes.
Wow. That was fucking beautiful, man. Right on cue too, bro. You be pricing at the crib. Stop playing.
Nah, I really don't, bro. It's just like I said, it just becomes easier. Like I promise you, like when I first started, like when I was at Vegas and it was just like I was just talking like when I felt like I needed to.
Yeah.
And then like obviously the more you do it, the more comfortable you get.
Of course.
But it's just like you gotta realize like you're up there doing what you love and like you're doing like even though if you're not picking up a controller, you're still playing Call of Duty basically, as you can say. But
you would realize these things regardless whether you're analyzing or not.
exactly.
You
like
know, so
because I've been a pro player.
Yeah.
It's just like for the simple fact like, all right, I seen he made a good play there or whatever. And it's just a good feeling, like just the fact that I could just sit back there and just like even if I'm not playing and I'm still watching, it's still good Call of Duty and I'm still understanding. That means I can still do it. So playing.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
being able to simplify like being
I can
able
make
to
it
understand
easier.
it so well
Yeah,
that you can
yeah.
simplify it that much. The simpler you can make it, the more you understand it.
I have a question. Aside from the competitive gaming, like what other games do you enjoy to play? Like, do you enjoy like story mode games? RPGs,
Oh well, I used to
anything
play a
else?
lot of story mode games. I used to play Devil May Cry. That used to be one of my favorite ones.
Devil May Cry, classic.
Devil May Cry was a
Classic,
classic.
That is.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I never played it.
Nero.
God of War.
God
Oh,
of
that's the
War,
best.
obviously,
Literally the
Wait,
best.
you never played Devil May Cry?
I've never played Devil May Cry, bro.
Come on, that's
I
like
was
the
a big Dead
PlayStation
Space.
OG.
I know,
I was a big
it might-
Dead Space, Bioshock guy.
Okay, I played Bioshock on
Bioshock
the
was
Xbox.
My
Bioshoc's
pops
the
never copped
greatest.
Devil May Cry for the P. I mean, that was
That was a
PlayStation.
P2
game.
though. Was that
a
P2 or
PlayStation.
P3?
I
Like,
had P1,
It was
P2.
I had it all. I had P1,
It was 1, 2,
P2,
3, and 4.
Sega.
I started P2. Yeah.
I started
I had
P1. Y'all
game-
niggas ain't have
Peasants.
Sega.
You had Game
I
Pass?
had the
I
first.
did not have Game Pass. I had Game
I ended up getting the Slim though because the first one fucked up. But
Listen,
Nigga, I started GameCube.
listen.
me
if-
too. That was my first one.
Hold on.
I got Dreamcast.
If you didn't have a fucking,
Gamecast.
if you did not,
Jacob was like, no, I didn't have Gamecast. I had GameCube. I was like, bro, Gamecast wasn't even the thing. Bro. You remember Malibu Most Wanted, bro? You remember
Yeah,
that?
son.
Nigga, I got Gamecast.
oh my god. Listen. If you didn't have the big ass gray PS1, man, with the skin on the fucking I'm not talking to you then, man. Like I said, Gamecast never had. I had Sega though. Who had Sega? Y'all never had Sega?
I definitely had Sega.
Oh, y'all from? I'm
I had
taking it.
Nintendo,
And
Super
64.
Nintendo. I had
Nigga,
Super
Yeah, of course
Nintendo,
everybody
had
64, for
Mario
sure.
Kart 64.
That was the
I
shit.
had
Mario
it.
Kart 64.
Nah, I still think greatest game of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube.
This guy loves that game.
Bro, that is
Double
my.
Dash?
I swear to God, I will. The same way you feel sniping,
Yeah.
that's how I feel racing that shit. Nigga.
Jazz,
that
nigga,
little
what's up?
fuck out of here.
It's crazy that we're here talking about games from like the late 90s, early 2000s, and now we have something called MLG, Major League Gaming.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fucking real thing. I did a school report on this. I told people about it, showed them photos of these events. It went from having thousands to selling out stadiums. Selling out stadiums, and this is fairly new, if I'm not mistaken. And Stud, I do have one question. Like, where do you see the future of Major League Gaming?
Well, you gotta see like the future of MLG, just overall Call of Duty in general, is just like it's growing so fast. Like people just in gaming, like you have people just investing in gaming because it's becoming such a thing now. And obviously it's because of Ninja. You know, Ninja put a face on us for overall, just like because he's a gamer who's just like living his best life, doing whatever he has to do. And then like you have players like you have people like Drake, you have like Chec who invests in the team, you have Rick Fox who owns Echo Fox. You have a whole lot of people that are just investing into gaming, and they're just realizing like technology is becoming a thing, and like gaming is actually a thing. Like you can actually make money off of this thing. So they're starting to get into it early. So like in a couple of years, I'm expecting like like Call of Duty just got announced franchising, and each franchise spot is 25 mil. So like. At that
That's
point,
absurd, dude.
at that like you're saying a couple years from now, and it's at 25 mil just off the rip of it, just getting franchised.
It's more like now. Then.
It's gonna be like insane, to be honest. At least it keeps going because like pretty sure like we were on TBS, like we were on like live television broadcast, like we were on that shit.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like we're gonna eventually like probably get a channel, like. Get people to watch
I
us,
don't
and
doubt
it'll
it.
probably be
I don't
something
doubt it.
like,
I'm waiting for it.
probably something big.
I would have thought
It'll be
I
huge.
would have thought Call of Duty would have got franchised already by now, because bro, it's been popping for
Call
a
of Duty,
minute.
I don't
son.
even
I mean,
understand. Like we got literally faces of gaming. Like we got people
Yeah.
with 2-3 million just off Call of Duty.
Call of Duty,
Like,
bro,
there's
yeah.
people who like play Fortnite and don't even got 2-3 million. Like,
yeah.
We got Scump.
You've
we
made
got
millionaires.
Bayshot,
Call of Duty's
we
made
got-
millionaires,
We got a
bro.
whole bunch of people.
Low key,
that are
you,
just,
bro. Like,
crazy.
you feel me? You
Yeah.
too,
Bro,
bro.
you ask a regular
be
Fortnite
cocky for a
pro.
little bit.
Fortnite pros got like some exposure because they play Fortnite, but like I've been playing Call of Duty, and a lot of people know me more through Call of Duty than they probably
Wait,
do
I was saying,
Fortnite.
did you talk about the one that you won?
What? My
the one
tournament that I
you
won?
won? Yeah,
Oh,
what tournament was
it was
that?
epic though.
Quick.
The one
Can we get a quick
tournament-
synopsis?
The
A
one
quick
tournament
synopsis.
that I won, it was UMG Dallas. So like, remember I was playing for Envy at the time. After champs, we went like 2 events. We ended up dropping Rambo and picking up Parasite, and it was like the worst pickup possible.
These names kill me.
Like, his name is Parasite, right? Well, his name, like, we call him Haggy because he looked he looked like one of those like Hagrid from like Harry Potter.
He looked like a parasite.
Pretty much.
But like me and him were mad
insect.
cool. It's just like when we were teammates, it wasn't really that good. So we picked him up, and like we got second at the next event after champs, and then we got fifth. And like once we got fifth, like I was 18, and at that point, like after getting second to champs, I had to get second again. I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't win, but I'm still feeling on top of the world. Like I'm one of these like one of those dudes. Like, and then like so we get fifth, and I was doing some dumb shit at the time. So I ended up getting dropped from Envy, and then I ended up joining an organization called Denial, and it was like me, a new player named Zuma, Replays, who used to play for another organization, and Saints. So then like we were 4 players that nobody like wanted to play with. So we just formed this team, and then we traveled to UMG Dallas. We're practicing. And then we get there, and then we play Optic Gaming for, like, top 16. We beat them, smack them. We, like, do winning bracket, smack them. We came back with some crazy shit. It was, like, down, like, it was, like, because Domination used to be, like, you used to play 2 sides of Domination, 5 minutes, 5 minutes.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So, like, in the first 5 minutes, they went up, like, 80 points. So, like, Trip capped us, like, for like a minute and a half, like destroyed us.
That's horrible.
But then on the second side of the 5 minutes, we trip capped them for 4 minutes, and we beat the shit out of them. And like all the Optic fans were like going against us, and we had a couple fans that were just yelling at them, like supporting us, and like we're in the booths, like just yelling, like we just came back like an 80-point lead, like versus there's literally a video for it. And then so like we beat them, and like we beat everybody at that point. Like we were one of we just on fire. Like we beating the hell out of everyone. When it came to like. Because remember, I was one of the best snipers when it came to Ghost. And then we picked up Zuma, who was like an S&D kid who was like really good at sniping as well. So like when me and him both sniped, like people simply didn't have a chance.
It was majestic?
It was like beautiful.
Didn't clash.
It was like fucking, it was like 2 putts in a pie. It was just beautiful. And like we had Saints, who was an aggressive player, and then we had Replays, who was just like such an intelligent player. So we had an aggressive player who like just give his life away. Then you had Zuma and me.
Crew,
I'll be able to kill. I'll be able to kill. And the thing with Zuma was like Zuma was good at sniping, but he was also really good at being an aggressive player as well. So he was able to swap up and just realize what he needed to do for situations. And then Replays was our brain. So like whenever we got into a city situation, he always bailed us out. Nice. So then like once we beat Optic Gaming, we went all the way to like the winners finals, and we play Envy, like the team that just dropped me. And I look at my teammates and I'm like, yo, we are not losing to these fucking guys. Like we're not gonna lose. So then we played them in the first series. We beat like there was no team that was better than us at domination. Like we were the best domination team because we were so aggressive and we were just so thoughtful with whatever we were doing on the map. So we beat them. Like we beat them first map, they win the second map, and then we beat them the next 2 maps. And like at that point, I'm like I played my old team, and like at that point, we're going like to the grand finals. Like we're top 2 already. Like it doesn't matter. Like whoever makes it to this has to beat us twice. Yeah. Like in order to beat us. So we beat them. I got at the booth. I'm talking mad shit to Envy. I'm like, oh yeah, you dropped me. Fuck out of here. This is my shit. Like, I destroyed them, whatever. Yeah. And so then like they ended up going through the loser bracket. They made it all the way back to the winners bracket. Oof. I mean, all the way to the grand final. So it's us versus Envy again.
Right? It's meant to be.
And this time, they needed to beat us in 2 best of 5s.
This is a movie shit.
They needed to beat us in 2 best of 5s, and then like we just needed to beat number 1. And at this point, like I'm looking at my teammates like we're in the grand finals. Like we just need to win 3 maps. Like what you telling me? Like I look at my teammates. We are beating the shit out of these guys. Like
let's do it epically. Like,
let's do it nice, bro. We ended up smoking them 3-0, bro.
Ooh,
I walked out that booth like 3-0, 3-0. Like all in their face. Like they're trying to get me down like 3-0, 3-0.
Fuck you motherfuckers.
And then we all hold the check or whatever. And I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I'm keeping this fucking check. Like this was mine. Like,
how much was
this is
it?
my old team. It was only for 10 grand, bro. Like remember, I just came off a tournament of
the
winning.
Pride is what
I just came off of winning 50 grand.
How big is it?
Huh?
How big is that like?
The tournament?
Oh, no, I'm saying the check itself.
Oh, no, the check is literally like probably bigger than this table, bro. I promise.
And you got that one. That's what you
and it's literally a big ass check.
Yo, that's crazy. I thought you were talking about like a little, you know what I'm saying? You brand something like.
It literally just says 10 grand. It literally just says 10 grand. But I'm like, yo, bro, like I would always hold this because like y'all dropped me. I'll beat the hell out y'all.
I was gonna say, but when they dropped you, were you like bugging out? Were you like? going through it?
I was fucking around, to be honest.
Okay.
I was like, I was like feeling on top of the world, partying a little bit, drinking a little bit.
But
under the age and shit.
so when they dropped you was kind of like, damn.
Yeah, I was like, low-key, I fucked up. So I gotta back up. I gotta realize.
You can admit that though.
Yeah. Now that I'm grown, I was like, I fucked up. Like,
because
I wish I would have looked at it differently. Because if I would have handled it a little differently.
Yeah, but you won the tournament though, so you could have been like, nah, y'all just kicked me out for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have jacked whatever you wanted.
Yeah,
but that's wavy, man.
It worked out for you.
Yeah, it worked out fine. It's whatever. It's all good.
It really did, man. And we got 2 more points I definitely want to hit on this rundown, man. And the next one is, where do you see yourself with professional gaming in these next couple of years?
Bro, honestly, I see myself like if I'm not competing, if I don't go back to competing, then I'm definitely gonna be like, probably the face of it. That's what I look for. Like, I don't settle for nothing less. Like, whenever people think of Call of Duty, I want them to think of me.
Okay. I was just about to say, so you look forward to
like whatever
expand the MOG, like
whatever my thing in whatever I'm doing for Call of Duty, I want to be the best at what I'm doing. So like right now, being an analyst, I want to perfect my craft, and I want to be able to up there and just talk about anything Call of Duty when it comes to it. So like when people think Call of Duty, like they're just like, all right, StuDyy's a very knowledgeable person. Like he understands what he's doing, and he's definitely like working on who he wants to be. Like I even got a speech coach, like to give me like lessons like every week, like just to focus on my craft because I want to be who I want to. I want to be able to be the best at what I'm doing.
But you ever thought about coaching?
I've done that.
Oh shit, word? You coached?
Yeah, I've coached before, and it was like the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
That's crazy.
Nah, because you ever imagine like coaching people that are like way worse than you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like imagine being LeBron and like right now, like if LeBron was a coach and like watching like these trash ass.
He's the coach already.
He's the coach of every team.
Yeah, so like it was like he gave up on like Lonzo, like he can't shoot a 3 or free throw.
Like imagine LeBron going to coach like the worst high school team in the nation.
That's what I'm saying.
That.
So like imagine being that. So like when it comes to that, like you sitting there like, bro, I could definitely do this way better than you. Like,
why you here?
Let me just get on the damn sticks, boy.
Do you ever think about like forming? I mean, obviously picking the right people for some shit like this, but like forming like your own team, like
like Drake or some shit,
like picking
being an organization owner, or like just
like the dude in North Carolina,
the team as well, like
the dude that took in North Carolina.
You could, if that's something that you wish to do, but I'm sure you would love
being
to
like a manager, basically
being like manager. I would love to be. Well, it'd be cool being a manager because I would know what kind of players to build. Yeah. I'd be like, wow, like this guy literally shows up late to scrims, like he doesn't really give a shit about what he's doing, so like. You're done. So like, let's find a guy that doesn't really have that much talent, but like has a shit ton of dedication and is working hard to get better. And like you can definitely see his improvement. He has like really strong strengths in here, but he has really weak strengths in here. You could boost it here if this is already strong. So like if you boost it here, he'll be a fucking great player.
Yeah. Do you guys try to make projections off of like stats? Anything like that?
Oh, analytics.
Like just like prediction wise?
Prediction wise, also, or even also when like scouting a player like that. Also, what do you guys? Is there any like stats you guys go to, like lean towards to try to analyze or project?
You can't really get stats from like a person unless you're like sitting there watching them like play. Like unless they're like competing at an event or something like that, you can't really get stats from them. Like usually players from like Call of Duty usually coming from the S&D scene. Like as long as you get the search and destroy background, you should be able to be good because in the best of 5 series you have 2 search and destroy game modes. And like it's not really that hard to learn respawn. As long as you're able to kill people and like listen to your teammates on communication wise, you should be fine. As long as you got that one main strength, you should be okay.
That's awesome, bro. And hearing this insight from like a gamer himself, it just literally puts you in a different perspective for gaming now. You know what I'm saying? And I competitively gamed at 1.2. Obviously not to your level. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take it there. And I'm sure I could have, bro, had I put in the time and dedication, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Niggas was
a lot
really
of people
there,
don't really think that they could do it, but you can definitely do it. It all depends on how much you really want it.
On some shit, there was a lot of potential. And that goes for anything, bro. He just said some words of wisdom there.
Seriously.
For anything. For real.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying? And
have more faith in yourself, basically.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're not willing to risk it yourself, then you're not willing to risk it nothing. It's just that simple, bro.
Yeah. Would you say that was the difference between you and other people? Because I was a kid from the Bronx
from Soundview, literally from where we at
You're
right
from
now.
Soundview?
Yeah,
Shout
bro.
out to
I
the
literally grew up
Bronx.
down the block.
Stop playing where?
I literally grew up right down Rosedale.
Stop fucking playing, bro.
I live
here
Noble
all my
Avenue.
life.
Noble Avenue.
Stop playing. That's crazy.
That's literally right there.
Literally lived here all my life.
That's
Literally all
nuts.
my life. I grew up
It's
right
Harlem
there.
though. You already know the vibes,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? Like, it's just like,
So now they know where Soundview based. So.
I was about to say, now you know where we
Alright.
record at.
but it's
going
just
on?
like, as long as you have like some kind of drive, like just to be better than what, like, than everything you was around, you're gonna be good. Like, it don't matter what kind of risk you take, but if you believe in yourself, like, it don't really take that much believe in other people. Like, but as long as you believe in yourself to get where you want to be, like, the fact that I was able to like tell my mom's like, cause like I was intelligent enough to go to college. You know, I would have graduated, had my degree already, but then I was just like, I'm taking a risk on myself. Because I love this, and I really have a passion for this, and I really want to pursue this, that I will be able to, in the 4-month span that you were giving me, make something out of it. And, like, the fact that I was able to do that, like, just keep my mind focused on that. Like, I remember, like, before I even met my girlfriend now, like, this is my girlfriend now. Like, we've been together almost 5 years. And, like, when I first started the Call of Duty career, like, it was a whole situation between me and her. Like, we just started talking, and then, like when it some shit just fell through, like throughout the summer we just fell through, and it was like it hurt me. So then like
Felt
when I got
was
that,
a good thing or felt
no,
it was
it's
a
a
bad
bad thing.
Okay.
So then like when I got the opportunity to join Envy and just like, you know, really like focus on like not really have any distractions.
Yeah.
Cause like say for instance I would have had a girl and I would have just been like, nah, I don't want to go because like I got her here or whatever.
Yes.
But thankfully like I didn't have her at the time, and I was able to just go like with mindset free.
Yeah.
And then, like, when I came back, now she's my girl for almost 5 years. So it's cool.
It's fine,
But
bro.
it's just like you really got to be able to just, like, risk it all on yourself. Like, because to give up, like, whatever you feel like is your last piece.
Yeah,
That's
but
a good-
did
that's
you
a good
ever,
lesson.
how prominent was failure in your mind when you started your journey?
Failure
you
wasn't
didn't think
even-
about it.
No.
Exactly.
No.
The reason I ask these things is because I'm trying to make people realize that there's no difference. You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just the only difference is your willingness to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
look at that, bro. You
yeah.
didn't even think about not even failing. You know what I'm saying?
Because,
like,
bro, I've been in so many
that's how
shitty
clear the
situations
vision
where I
was.
wouldn't have been where I was if it wasn't for, like, a certain play that I made. Like, that 1v3, for instance, for me to get picked up by Envy or, like, beat that team, for them to recognize who I was. Like, those are certain situations that you are obviously put in, and, like, the way that you execute them, it doesn't matter if you clutch it or not.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just the way that you approach those situations. If you're mentally prepared for those situations, you should be able to handle it the way that you need to. And if you handle it the way that you need to, a good thing will come out of it at the end of the day.
That's fucking dope, man.
That's awesome, bro. And
That's awesome.
I would have wished that you said all of this when we were closing out, man, because that's just such a great way to go out with all that information. But we're going to bring you guys right back into this motherfucking conversation, man. This is going to be pretty much the last topic of this podcast, and this fucking episode was amazing, if you ask me, man. And this was brought up by Alec many moons ago, but I feel like now it's necessary, being that you do come from a professional gaming background.
Okay.
And this is something called the simulation theory, and I'm gonna let Alec pretty much give you a quick, definition of what that is, of exactly what the theory is, because I pretty much have an idea, but I don't. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty much about to
I'm
learn
right there
with you.
I'm right there with you.
And we're gonna give our take on it, and then we're gonna get up out of here, man.
Okay.
For sure,
All right,
for
Alec,
sure.
talk about this.
Yeah, so simulation theory is actually pretty interesting. It actually just started getting traction in the modern era right now. And this, I remember when we were first going to have you on, I was thinking about other things that we were going to talk about. And I just came across this YouTube video, and it was about an hour long. If you guys have a chance, like a nice hour to spend, watch this, because they'll probably explain it way better than I am right now. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that some of the highest people in the tech industry right now, like Elon Musk, are actually starting to believe in the fact that we might be actually living in a hyper simulation ourselves, much akin to a video game, right? This sort of hyper real simulation, right? So we know that, back in the day, Nintendo 64 with that 2D sort of kind of like planar look, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, 3-dimensional, right?
Crazy graphics. See the sweat on characters.
Exactly. It's still 3-dimensional on a 2D plane.
Yeah.
We're living in this sort of 4-dimensional world, right? So you're seeing these different layers of dimensions starting to kind of like compound themselves. Who's to say that we're not living in a 4-dimensional world of a fifth dimensional viewer.
Yeah, almost like so. Basically, is like what you're saying is basically, what if reality and the Earth itself is all just a computer theory? Like, it's all a simulation, similar to computer theory. You know what I'm saying?
Similar to computer, and
to a computer simulation. I'm sorry.
Basically like Sims. Basically like so we're living in a sim like a pseudo Sims kind of world, and something like that is something that idea we might think of it as something that is a new age kind of thing, but in reality these sorts of ideas have been floating around for like millennia. So back in the days of like the ancient Greek philosophers, they always had these like conflicting ideas of what is real, what is reality. At the end of the day, we talk about video games as a virtual reality, but what exactly is that reality, right? What makes this reality not virtual versus actual reality? So it's really interesting when you think about something like that. But you've heard about this shit before, right?
Yeah, I've definitely heard about it.
Yeah, I mean, being like, I mean, if you think about it, for example, like you're playing like Call of Duty, right? That avatar itself, the reality of that avatar
is in your hands.
Yeah,
it's in your hands. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
So are you trying to say that our reality?
So it's like
in our own hands or in someone else's hands?
If I was like a military soldier my entire life, I play Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
I've been out there shooting guns. Just killing.
So that means you might be good at shooting guns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have that theory. You know what I'm saying? Like if I ever go to a gun race, I feel like I'm on point accuracy at that point. Point blank accuracy at that point.
I feel you.
Nah,
I'm feeling the same too.
I got the especially like since I've been good with a sniper, like I know what the speculation, at least from a gamer's perspective, like it was be a sniper.
Like we were talking about, for example, like in Mortal Kombat, right? The frames per second, like that is the physics for that virtual world, right? Just like how we have math that runs our world, we can trace, for example, force and and speed and distance based off of numbers the same way that it's calculated in a game, right? Math rules at the end of the day, right? Formulas rule at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Science is always trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting when you look at it. So what makes the world for your avatar real for it?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I think
that is reality for your avatar. So therefore our reality, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are believing like we're like avatars for this reality.
So I think, for example, remember we talked about the Facebook AI created its own language.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shit like that. So now think about that. So they were trying to make some like what was it? They were trying to something with Facebook. They were trying their artificial intelligence,
machine learning.
They were trying to teach us something. Yep. Basically,
two different ones.
Yeah, two different ones, and they were able.
Three.
They formed their own language to be able to communicate with. Like nobody understood it. The developers didn't understand it. So now that makes you think like, holy shit, could that explain our consciousness? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it kind of encompasses when you think about simulation theory. It's like, holy shit. I mean, I'm just saying though. You feel me? You get what I'm trying to get at? Like, that's wild. Like, you know what I'm saying? Could there be a simulation aspect to what goes on? You know what I'm saying? Right? Because I mean, I don't know. It's just real. It's just fucking crazy. I mean, it's just nuts. Sometimes shit be, bro. Sometimes I be feeling like, yo, is this shit? Is life real, man? Like, shit be crazy, bro.
The way
I be
trying
to think that be happening, and I'd be like, holy fuck, bro. What the fuck? I'd be like, yo, is this? It can't be real.
Moments, though. Like whenever those moments happen, it's just like, is life real?
No, I mean on both sides.
Whatever the situation is, like, whenever you think about it, like if life's real, like I remember I got arrested by the cops, like. Is life real?
Real,
like,
yeah.
Like I won my first championship. Is life real? Like it don't matter what it is. Like, but if you ever question yourself about that, then you definitely living in a simulation for sure.
I would say it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, like, what the hell can you do about it?
Right. No. At the end of the day, it is your reality.
You can be like, yo, can I get a do over? Because this shit whack. Like,
it's over.
It's over.
Wait, but also real quick, what do you think? Also, now that you've actually found some success in what you love, how do you feel about creating your reality and that kind of like saying like, you know, you could create your own reality, like, you know what I'm saying, that you could be what you want to be, you know what I'm saying, like how did that view on life, creating your own reality, kind of play into your path? And
well from when I was 18 and I looked at it, it was just like I wanted to be a champion. I wanted to be a person that's well known around the community. I wanted to be one of the people that can impact people's lives. And when I look at it till now, like I've done all those things that I've set checks on. Like I've definitely impacted people's lives. Like, you know, I have people like, you know, I stream on Twitch like on a daily at twitch.tv/study. I've been streaming on Twitch since I was on Envy. That's when I first got partnered. It was like 18. It was like almost 6-7 years ago. And like I've had people come into my stream, you know, that they're just like, yo, I've watched you. You know, you have a lot of similarities that I have. And like I was in jail and like I watched you and then like you saved me out of jail. Like I've had a lot of people like that, like that I was able to save people's lives. Like just doing what I do. Like,
I was really gonna ask you, like, how did you touch people's lives? And that's
it's because like when like because there's people like throughout the entire world. It doesn't even have to be gaming. Just like when they hit behind a camera or something like that, they just want to be a totally different person. Yeah, and like that's just something that like that's my motto that I made. It was like just trust me and it's just be yourself. Yeah. Like just trust me and be yourself. Like just whoever you are. Like the people will love you who you are, no matter how it is. Right. Like it don't matter where you come from. It don't matter what living experiences you come with. Like what struggles, what goals, like whatever you go through throughout your entire life. Like people just like there's some people out there that would just be able to compare to you, and like even if they're not be able to compare to you, like there's just people that just like obviously they had better. So just look at your story and just be like inspired. And like that's one thing. Like throughout my entire gaming career, like I just want people to look at me and just be like, all right, like I don't want you to look at me and just be like, I don't want you to feel bad for me, like because everything I went through, I'm not like devastated about. I'm not sad about. I'm happy.
You're not a victim at all.
No, I'm happy I went through everything that I've ever went through in my life.
It's a lesson
because it made me the person I am today. So like, if you're able to look at somebody like that and not judge a book by its color, then you're definitely a good person. And just looking at it like that, then nothing can stop you at this world, and nobody will ever be able to tell you what you and who you can be.
That's what's up.
Damn it, man. That was
you just
fucking
naturally
awesome,
redid that, man. The nice ending,
Yo,
man.
honestly, man, and I think we're gonna have to go out on that, bro.
Yeah,
that was
powerful.
That was nice.
Holy shit, guys! I want to thank everybody for joining us for this episode. Once again, I want to thank my guy StuDy, bro. I really appreciate you for coming on this fucking episode.
Thank you,
man.
my guy.
Yes,
I hope we can have you on for another one.
it.
Oh, really quick, he's actually leaving tomorrow for another trip. Where you going?
I gotta go to I gotta go to London. Well, no, I gotta go to Columbus, Ohio, to go do the other half of the Pro League. You know, you got the other 6 weeks coming up. You got the other 4 teams. There's a whole bunch of new rosters like FaZe, Elevate that just came into the Pro League. So like it's the second half of the year, and you got the big tournament at the end of the year. So we gotta go back and see how these teams are gonna rock.
Awesome, man. I'm excited to hear how the tourney goes over there, bro.
Yeah.
And yo, if you want to just drop some of your handles on Twitter and Instagram so everyone can follow you,
if you want to just follow me, you know, throughout the entire thing. I'm Jeremy Stud on basically everything. You know, Twitter, JeremyStud on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, I think it's a little different, but Snapchat's whatever. It don't really matter. And, that's good. Yeah,
there you go, guys. There you go. Once again, Stud, thanks again for coming on, man. You guys can follow this podcast at The Checkbox on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Play, and now Twitter, guys.
Yes,
you already know. THECHECBOX. You already know, man. My guy Kenneth at _ in every color. My guy Alec with a K at Alec_Sergio. And my guy HP at HPenna730. And your boy at Chec _7, guys. Once again, episode 15. Thank you so much. And this is The Neighborhood featuring Nipsey Hussle and Living a Dream, a request by my guy StuDy here, man.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
We out.
Where everybody loves me, living in a dream world. How'd I get so lucky? So tell me how you feel. Tell me, oh baby, is anything real? Tell me, oh, tell me.
look at you, feels like deja vu.
Living in a dream where everybody loves me. Living in a dream world. How'd I get so lucky? Tell me how you feel.
I feel like a legend in these Puma suedes. I'ma still make millions when this music fade. Reinvent every time the music change. My gut had me feeling like I knew the way. I feel like I spoke for my generation. All game in my demonstration. To my gang, I'm a different greatness. Pay dues, never missed a payment. Stay true, now it's entertainment. I feel like I'm built for whatever storm. Whatever way the game tests me in whatever form. Through all them dark times that they never saw. I feel like I stand tall and can never fall. I feel like a one-on-one. Like the last dope boy in the game with 100 tons. Tupac at the troublesome, a boosie badass, drop a bag on you niggas if I want it done.